Mic test, mic test. Get some music in here. What's up, guys? Can you hear me? What's up, guys? Jose, what's good, my friend? How you doing tonight? We're a little slow on viewers, but that just means more private time for you, right? How's your fantasy team looking for tomorrow? Actually, need to look at my own. Make sure everything looks good. I'm excited for the games. What team are you What team are you rooting for? I guess. What are you a fan of? Happy Halloween, by the way. Let me know if the audio sounds good and everything. Kind of just a chill stream right now, you know, seeing who's up at late night. Nice, I'm a Colts fan. Actually, I like the Broncos a lot, especially after Manning went over to Denver. And for me, I am a huge snowboarder, so I'm in Denver a lot, especially in the winter. So I actually like you guys a lot. Unpopular opinion, I think Drew Locke is really good for the franchise. I don't know how you feel about him, but I think Drew Locke is actually a decent quarterback in that, once you guys get everyone healthy, you actually have a decent young team that, barring injuries, should be pretty good for the next few years. I really like your team. Are you from the Denver area? Let's see. I'm looking at the Denver Broncos roster right now. So I really like, I mean, you guys have a really decent wide receiver corp. Tim Patrick, kind of out of nowhere, really good this year. Jerry Jeudy, hopefully after a year in his, he hasn't really produced too much this year. Gilbert, what's good, my man? Yeah, Cat does need a lot of attention. Yeah, so anyways, about the Denver Broncos. So yeah, I really like Tim Patrick and what I've seen. With Jerry Jeudy, I think he's going to be good. He's had some rough missed catches this year. But I really like Jerry Jeudy a lot. And damn, what's the guy's name? The starting wide receiver. I beat myself up because I forgot about him. Dang, what's his name? Cortland Sutton. Yep, Cortland Sutton I like a lot. That guy kind of started balling out a lot at the end of this year last year, I believe. I don't know if it was just the end of the year, mainly last year, but he looks like a true wide receiver one because he's a Pro Bowler too, right? Let's see, Cortland Sutton. I feel like because what do he got? He got a knee injury this year that kind of locked him out of the entire year, but yeah, I mean I like him a lot. So Drew Locke looks like he's kind of a mini slinger, and you guys have a decent running back group with Gordon and Philip Lindsay. Defense is good. The team should be a lot better, but it just sucks that you guys had a lot of injuries. So I'm really excited to see what Drew Locke can do once he's actually healthy. Oh, obviously, Noah Fant. Yep, Alberto. Noah Fant, I like a lot too. I mean, your team is young. Just be patient with it. But that's cool. So you're from Cali, but how are you a Denver fan? Jack, what's up, my man? Okay, how do you feel about my team? Someone specific I should go for. Robinson, Taylor, Carson. Okay. So you got James Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Chris Carson as your running backs. That should be super solid, especially with Carson coming back hopefully soon. Devontae Adams, Anderson, and Boyd, and Hunter Henry. That's really good. That's a really solid team. What's up, Burke? How you doing, man? That's not bad at all. Jack, how many people do you have in the league? I'm kind of curious. You seem like you have a pretty solid core. I guess the only thing I would say is Hunter Henry I do like, and I think he's got an okay floor. I wonder if there's any way you can upgrade for a higher, a better tight end. Hunter Henry has been good, but I feel like his highs hasn't been as high as we would like him to see. So 10-man, okay, that's not bad at all. That's actually really solid. I would say if you can maybe pick up another tight end. As everyone knows, eight is fine too. That's still really solid. I mean, you've got what I believe is a top 5 running back in James Robinson. You've got Jonathan Taylor, who I think is going to be trending upwards, and Chris Carson, who once he gets back, he should be a top 10 guy. Devontae Adams is Devontae Adams. He's one of the top wide receivers. Robbie Anderson is obviously very solid as well, and Tyler Boyd is very high floor as well each week. So I think you're good. I think you're good. But yeah, Jose, let me know. I'm kind of curious. How are you a Denver fan? Gilbert, fan of athleticism reminds me of a young. Yeah, for sure. It's interesting because let me see, how old is Kittle actually? George Kittle is, he was born in 1993. He's only 27, so I guess in football terms, interesting, okay. He was born in 1993, Madison, Wisconsin. That's really interesting. I did not know that. That's cool. Oh, nice, cool. Do you ever go to Denver much? Tell, what's up, my man? Good to see you here tonight. Sorry for the super late stream, guys, but I'm glad you guys are all here. Burke says Aaron Jones and Slayton for Swift and Diggs. Bad trade, right? Giving Swift and Diggs. Well, here's what I think. So, Aaron Jones, way better than Swift, and Darris Leonard, I don't like anymore. I don't know if you watched my video this week, but I actually have him as my sit of the week. I think Slayton's stock is, well, number one, I didn't love him that much because he's on the Giants team, but I think his stock goes down a little bit because Sterling Shepard actually gets back now, so a lot of it depends. Yeah, I don't like Slayton that much either. I think he still can get those garbage TDs, but I'm not a huge fan of him because Shepard's back and because of what the Giants' offense is on its own. So, it's tough. I think. Yeah, Bark, what's the rest of your running backs looking like? I don't remember, but let me know what the rest of your running backs look like. Luke, what's up, man? I have Kyler, King Henry, Jacobs, Lockett, Amari, Juju, and Jonnu Smith. I think I should go for it. Currently 5-2, so you're setting pretty good. I'm sure you're one of the top 3 or 4 seeds in your league. I think if you can go for, honestly, okay, I was gonna say if you can go for a third running back, but honestly you might need a second wide receiver more because Lockett. I think of Lockett as sort of like a borderline wide receiver 2. Amari, we don't know what's going to happen now that DiNucci is the quarterback for the foreseeable future, and Juju hasn't been performing. So I think Jonnu is fine for you at the tight end spot, but you could potentially use a third running back or just honestly like a solid wide receiver 1 or just another wide receiver. So I would maybe see if you can trade some of your wide receivers for like a more solid wide receiver 2 or even a wide receiver 1. Burke, so let's see, you have Henry, Carson, Swift, Brian Hill. Okay. So I mean you're okay there, but you'd be trading Aaron. Okay, so you'd be getting Aaron Jones, you'd be getting Swift and Diggs. Okay, so you would have essentially Henry, Carson, and Aaron Jones, which would be a really good lineup. What about Burke? What about your wide receivers? Who do you have there? Because I'm kind of curious if you could afford to give up. Because essentially at the end of the day, right, you're giving up more so Diggs because once you have Henry, Carson, and Aaron Jones, you're not going to be starting anyone else. That takes care of your 2 running backs plus a flex. So yeah, what are your wide receivers? Jack, would you give up Carson and Robinson? I think that's a little too much. Honestly, Aaron Jones has a running back 1 status, and I think a lot of people think he's, holy crap, it's Aaron Jones. But honestly, James Robinson, he's sneakily a top 3 running back right now. So I don't know that I would give him up. I think if you have Carson and Robinson, you're good. Burke, okay, so let's see. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. J-Rob, you have that. So, okay, so you have Henry, Carson, J-Rob, and you would be getting Aaron Jones. If you gave away Diggs, you have Julio, AJ Brown, T. Higgins, and R. Okay, so honestly, Okay, here's what I would say, Burke. I don't think you necessarily need Aaron Jones because, I guess actually if you got him, I would be starting for the majority of the weeks, depending on the matchups. I would probably be starting Henry, Aaron Jones, and James Robinson, right? I think that's your solid 3. I'd be only playing 2 wide receiver in my 4. Okay, exactly. Yep, exactly. So I would rank Henry, Derrick Henry, James Robinson, and Aaron Jones as your top ones. And then as for your wide receivers, if you have Julio and AJ Brown and T. Higgins, honestly, I think you could probably give up Diggs. Diggs is very solid, but with Julio, AJ Brown, and T. Higgins, even if you didn't have Julio, I would actually feel pretty good with AJ Brown and T. Higgins every week. So maybe you pull that if you feel like you're not getting enough, push from your running back. So that's, honestly, obviously Diggs is an everyday starter for you, right? Every week starter for you, but I would say that's tough. because you would be upgrading slightly at running back. I don't mind that for you because we don't know how long Carson's out, right? So the one thing we need to think about is how many weeks do we have for playability for each one of these running backs. So we know Aaron Jones is healthy, we know Derrick Henry is healthy, and we know J-Rob is healthy after this week, after his bye. So that's probably not a bad idea for you, Burke, honestly. Yes, I think Aaron Jones theoretically should be. You're like, usually top tier running backs are a little bit more, they're a little bit more trustworthy than I would say top tier wide receivers. I mean, honestly, Diggs has been doing really well this year, but yeah. James Martin, what's up? How you doing? Oh, man. Let me get back to that in 1 second. I'll talk about it too. Aaron Jones is out this week. Yep, he is out this week. Only problem is I've got Carson and injury and J-Rob bye. Ugh. Yeah, so I guess it depends. I mean, if you make the trade now, is it even going to go through right away? Because it doesn't usually take like a day at the very minimum to go through, unless your league has some different rules where it goes through immediately. But I mean, you should also be fine with the wide receivers you have this week. But in the future, I mean, Aaron Jones and Diggs, they've both been doing pretty well. Let me look at Diggs' status, and James Martin, I'm gonna get to you right away. Let me just finish this thought here, so I don't like just bounce back and forth. But let me look at Stephon Dix. I do have him in one league, and I feel like he's just honestly been sort of set and forget for me. So he's been pretty much double digits every week except for last week where he still got 6 receptions for 48 yards. So honestly, Burke, it's kind of a toss-up, right? I think it can go either way. I don't think you're going to lose anything. I don't think you're going to gain anything too much. But I still value running backs a little bit higher than wide receivers. And Aaron Jones, let's look at him really quick. I'm going to pull up his stats for this year. I mean, obviously he's a baller. Yeah, I think I would do that for you. You're not losing too much. You still have the wide receiver depth that you need. And Aaron Jones, I think, has a little bit higher of a ceiling because, I mean, this guy's been going off, like, you know, high double digits. Honestly, most of his games are in, like, the 20s, and he's broken 30. No, sorry, that's Aaron Rodgers. Jeez, I'm an idiot. Aaron Jones. That's really good for running back. Yeah, so I think, honestly, both guys are probably going to get you that, like, mid-teens points every week. But Aaron Jones has a little bit of a higher ceiling where he can just kind of go off for, like, 2, 3, 4 touchdowns a week. All right, James. Okay, James Robinson on a bye. Kellis, what's up? I'm going to get to you in a second. So, yeah, James Robinson on a bye hurts me too this week, so don't even worry about that. Like, that's rough. Yeah, James on a bye, Aguilar and IR. Singletary, Dobbins, or Hasty. So this is a really tough one because I like, to be honest, and like I don't want to sound mean, but like I don't love any of them. If you had to choose one, probably Singletary. He's at least like the quote unquote starter. Dobbins, he has Gus Edwards in front of him. So, and you know, with just that Ravens backfield, I don't love. Hasty, I mean, if anyone in chat here knows, I don't know that he's the starting running back, and I think it changes every week. You know, Tevin Coleman might be coming back this week, and that backfield is just something I don't want to worry about. So honestly, I would probably, like, even though Singletary's like floor is kind of low, I kind of lean him because he's at least, you know, the number one option for whatever that's worth, instead of like the Ravens or the San Francisco committee, which you don't really know what's going to happen at all. Let's see. All right, Kellis. Commission approved. Trade up pro. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yep. That's true. I guess I don't know if that's like super legit, because yeah, I understand that too. If sometimes you want to just get it through, but there is some, you know, purpose to the actual trade period so that the rest of your league can review it and feel like if they want to veto it or not. I mean, I think there's people put too much thought into like the vetoing powers of trades, because I've seen very legit trades just get vetoed as well. But you also don't want to give the rest of your league mates a bad sort of taste by just sort of like letting through a trade without letting people actually giving people the time to be able to review it. Yeah, James, a lot of RBs RKO this year. Sam Morales, what's up, man? Start Dallas Goddard or Hunter Henry? So that's a tough question. I think normally I would go Dallas, right? He honestly came back a lot quicker than I thought he would. So I would say just put your money on him, because if you're on the Eagles and, I don't know why it is, if you're a tight end on the Eagles and you're not named Zach Ertz, I think you're going to get a lot of targets. So there's a small chance that he could be on snap count this week and he could be used as a distraction, but honestly, he's good to go for him, because I expect at least 6 to 10 targets from Wentz to him. So I like him a little bit more. It seems like, the one person we can really trust on the Chargers right now is Keenan Allen. I honestly started Mike Williams last week, but he got 3 targets and 1 reception. So it's hard to trust, even though Justin Herbert really likes to throw it a lot and he gets a lot of people involved. It's honestly hard to trust more people than just Keenan Allen before we see more results. Jack, would giving up Landry for Boston Scott be smart? I don't think so, because Landry is someone that I think you can use for the rest of the season, and Scott is going to be someone that you can maybe use for one more day. So I mean, we got to think long term, right? Especially if you're in a good position for the playoffs. Once Miles Sanders comes back, Boston Scott is not going to be useful at all. So I probably would not do that. Burke, Coleman's activated and McKinnon was being arrested so he can start. Yeah, so again, I think it's, unless someone else knows more information, I think it's really tough to figure out who's gonna start. Last week, I feel like every week pretty much, unless Mostert is starting, it's a toss up, right? So I'm staying very far away from that San Francisco backfield. Don't worry about it, man. I mean, it's late. We have 8 viewers in right now, and I'm more than appreciative of that. So, let's talk a little bit fantasy football. Whether this is a long stream or short stream, whatever it is, let's just get some people in, get your last minute decisions, and let's get to bed. This is a really tough week, everybody. I mean, for myself, my one competitive league that I really need some wins in, because I'm in 3-4, I'm projected to lose by 25 points, so it's not great. Break. Is Chase Edmonds for Cole Beasley a fair trade? Depending on who you're getting, I actually like the Cole Beasley trade a little bit more. I would like whoever's getting Cole Beasley a little bit more, because we've seen that Cole Beasley has a very, honestly, a pretty decently high floor every single week. And he's one of those guys that Josh Allen really trusts. So if I were me, I would probably choose Cole Beasley in that trade. I would keep Edmonds. John Brown being back is definitely it's a concern, but I still think Cole Beasley is going to be one of his most trusted targets. Ben DiNucci, right? I know, right? Nucci gang. I mean, listen, if he throws for 5 TDs tomorrow, I think that's going to shock all of us, right? But I do wish him the best. This is one of those guys where if any of us were a quarterback, we'd probably be, something like the third stringer for the Cowboys, where, you have Dak Prescott, who is playing out of his mind. You have Andy Dalton, who is, a decent starter, not a bad guy at all. And then all of a sudden, both of them are just done and you're up. So I think we'd all feel a lot of pressure, and I don't think anyone has high expectations for him, but I really, really hope that he just, goes off tomorrow and just shocks the world. I think everybody, even no matter how far down on the bench you are, you need to get a chance, and I think this is his chance to shine. So let's say he's gonna revive the Cowboys, and they're gonna win the NFC East. Bold take. Yeah, Sam, no worries.
James Garner, Amari, or T. Higgins? I trust T. Higgins a little bit more because of the unknown with Nucci Gang this week. So I would go T. Higgins, and he's been putting up solid production many weeks, so I would go for that. Jose, do you see Denver defense getting lots of sacks like they did with Patrick? I think they still can. Obviously it's a little bit tough because their offense isn't doing them much right now, but I mean, they always have the potential to get a lot of sacks. They've got some, good edges on their line. So I think the pressure's always there. I wouldn't be surprised with, anywhere between like 2 to 4 sacks. It's always a possibility. So I wouldn't count them out. But I think the offense really needs to help them out. They're playing the Chargers this week. They don't have a strong O-line, so I wouldn't be surprised for sure. Kellis, PPR redraft, trade Watson, Claypool for Lamar. I started Bridgewater this week. For what? That's tough. Obviously you want rid of Lamar, but that's a tough one. Marlo, what's up? What's up? Kellis, let me think about this. I'm gonna get back to you. I'm not gonna ignore your question. Marlo, what's up? Marlo, what's up? Welcome. How'd that math homework go for you? Young Guapo, what's up? I know, right? Yo, happy Halloween, guys. Anyone who in chat who can guess what I am, which I don't think any of you guys can, because I put a very little effort into this. Let me know in chat. Kellis, so yeah, I mean, I think that's okay. I just don't know, to me, even if we're not valuing Claypool too much, which, I think he still has some good upside, I don't know that I would really rank Lamar that much higher than Watson. And the biggest thing for me is that it's hard for me to put a quarterback consistently every year as the consensus top quarterback. So that's a really tough call. The thing with Watson is, until the Texans get better, he's always going to be playing from behind, and he's going to be getting a lot of, not quite garbage points production, but he's going to be trying to come back, which means a lot of throwing, a lot of runs. So I honestly don't know that you're, obviously anyone would draft Lamar over Watson, right? But I just don't know if you're going to get that much more value out of Lamar than Watson. Okay, Tao. Yep, lineup. So you got Murray and Burrow, which is great because Murray is going to be your every week starter, and Burrow is going to be on the bench. Henry, CEH, Gibson, Chase Edmonds, DJ Dallas. So that's that. You have a solid 3 right there to start. Devontae, Calvin, Terry, Claypool. Yeah, so that's solid, Tal. I mean, the thing is, you've got a starter 2. I'm assuming it's 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex. So you've got at least 2 with a backup every single week, plus some stashes. So that's exactly what you need to do right now. That's, you have your stashes, you have your backups, and you have your solid starters. So you're very, you have Gronk and Kelsey, so you're very set. I know, Burke, right? The one thing that is kind of annoying is that for some reason, the chat isn't working on the screen, because I'm assuming you guys don't see the chat. So I'm not sure why that's not going up. So I'm gonna have to test it a little bit more. Let me know if you guys do want the music up anymore. But yeah, so this. Oh wait. Oh, there we go. Oh, whoa. Do you guys see 2 chat boxes now? Let me know. A witch? Harry Potter sorting? Sort of. I guess I call myself a beer wizard. Yeah. Let's see. Marlo, I offered DK Metcalf and Brandon Cooks, but I was offered. Okay, so you're getting DK and Brandon, but you're getting MT. I don't know how about this one. Would you rather have go for DK MT, full PPR star flex? Okay, so Marlo, I actually So okay, sorry, I'm gonna get rid of one of these chats then. Let's see. There we go. There should be only 1 chat left. For some reason, I need to reactivate it. That's a good one. So Burke says, I don't trust MT very soon. I agree with that. I think I think maybe you give it, right? Because like MT, once he gets back, we assume he's gonna be wide receiver 1-2. But like Brandon Cooks and DK Metcalf, except for last week, he's been playing like one of the top wide receivers. So I wouldn't mind that if you don't have a huge depth and you could start Cooks and Metcalf every week. I think there's a lot of drama going on with MT, so I'm not really sure what's going on with him right now. But I don't mind that at all. Berg, sorry, what do you mean? Other one is better with the background. So sorry, do you guys want the chat on, I guess, let's see, so this is my right side, so your left, or do you guys want the chat on your right, which is my left? So left, press 1 is right. Sam Morales, so your right, our left. So okay, so let's try that. Like I just switched it, so let me know how that is. I like it better on your right. So my right is your left. Okay, so yeah, Marlo. No worries, man. Thank you for coming through. Let's see, so blue better than tan back. Oh, I see what you're saying, because the tan and the white kind of clashes, huh? Okay, that makes sense. Here we go. We'll try that. That's actually good. I can maybe try. I can actually next time I can change the font and color a little bit. But anyways, okay, sorry, Sam. I need to get to your question right now. Full PPR starter flex Robert Woods, Leonard Fournette, or David Montgomery. If you had to choose one, honestly, I would say Robert Woods or Fournette. Probably Woods a little bit. Fournette, we still don't really know what his role is going to be, and he could be, 10 touches for a TD, or he could be 2 touches for like 15 yards. I have David Montgomery as my sit of the week, so I don't really love him. So I would say maybe Robert Woods. Yeah, 2 chat. Thank you guys. I mean, Beer Wizard, honestly, it's not. Please don't give me any praise for it. It's very uncreative, so it's not creative at all. So, the blue. Okay, thanks. Yeah. So Marlon, we already said. So good night, Marlon. We'll see you soon. Do you see? So Jose says, do you see Bradley Chubb and Von Miller being? I think so. So Bradley Chubb is gonna get better, right? But it's Von Miller's not getting any younger, so. Honestly, I'm a little Von Miller is one of my favorite players to watch. He's just a great guy, and he's a fantastic player. He's not getting any younger, so I don't know if he's gonna ever. He's far from his prime, and I'm wondering what his production is gonna be like. Even if he's a fraction of what he used to be, I think it'll be good because people are gonna have to worry about Bradley Chubb as he gets better. But I'm just a little bit afraid that. Von Miller is sort of, declining because of age. Twisted Visions, what's up? Should I take a chance on starting Claypool? Yeah, I mean, if you need to, depending on the rest of your lineup and who else you have going, Claypool is good, right? I think, I haven't looked yet, but, what's Deontay's status? Because if Deontay Johnson plays, I think that's going to hurt him a little bit, right? But they're also playing a tough defense. I mean, that divisional game is going to get dicey, and I'm honestly really interested to watch it. But if you really want to, if you have no one else, I don't think it's a bad idea. Yeah. Benjamin. Oh, what's up, Benjamin? I think you're new to the stream. Welcome. Claypool or Kenny Galladay? Ooh, that's a tough one. They're both playing... yeah, I was gonna say Burke. I kind of prefer Kenny a little bit. So they're both gonna be playing tough defenses, but Kenny Galladay at least should be, the number 1 or number 2 option at the very, very least. As opposed to, with the Steelers, you have Juju, you have Deontay potentially, James Conner is going to be going off, Ebron, James Washington. You have a lot of mouths to feed. So, honestly, if you need some points, I would say Galladay is probably a little bit safer of a bet. Kellis, I'm interested in adding an IDP player next year to my version of So Kellis, Can you let me know? So I'm not as familiar with IDP. I played it once, but can you let me know sort of like what stats sort of give you the most points? Because if it's something like tackles or something, I would definitely recommend like a linebacker. I'm going to be biased and say someone like a Darris Leonard, but like a Fred Warner on the 49ers could be good as well. But like, yeah, Kellis, what's like the most lopsided stat? And guys, I'll be right back. I'm getting some water. I'm already talking too much, so I'll be right back. Benjamin, Hockenson, Robert Tonyan, and Jonnu Smith. Okay. Out of those three, I would probably say Jonnu Smith, actually. He is always a really, a primary target for Tannehill. And I think that, against Cincinnati, Ben's defense are going to be able to put up a lot of points. So Jonnu probably has a lot of opportunities to look at. Tonyan hasn't looked great recently, and Hockenson, again, so he should probably be able to provide you a decent floor, but with that defense they're playing tomorrow, I don't know if he has a super high ceiling. So out of those, I would probably go Jonnu. Kellis, so yeah, I would look into it, but at least, chat, if anyone else knows, let me know, but I would probably think that, like, tackles and stuff like that is, like, honestly, tackles might be the number one thing. So I would look for linebackers who are sort of covers linebackers. So I would say, maybe a Bobby Wagner, maybe Darris Leonard, maybe a Fred Warner. If that guy on the Cowboys, what's his name? Lee Vander Esch, if he is potentially healthy, we can look at him, but he has not been able to stay healthy. So those are all good ones to look at. Sam, I was offered Kyler Murray in exchange for Chris Cargan and T. Higgins. Thoughts? Benjamin, what's the rest of your so right now I'm inclined to a little bit to say no, but what's the rest of your running backs and wide receivers like? Because I would like to evaluate whether or not you can actually give up Chris Carson and T. Higgins and still be okay. Raul, what's up, man? Okay, so most people take MLB middle linebackers at IDR. Yep, so that's good. DL was volatile. Blake Martinez and Buda. Okay, Baker is great. It's all IDPs and Buda Baker. All middle linebackers. So that's great. And honestly, I don't think Darris Leonard is technically in a middle linebacker. I think he's outside. So I guess Tao and Raul are outside linebackers good as well? Because honestly, again, I'm going to be a little biased and talk about my boy Darris Leonard. He has a lot of tackles. I think last year he got overall maybe 5 interceptions, and he gets a decent amount of sacks. So his stats actually for a linebacker is I think he has broken some records for amount of tackles, sacks, and interceptions this season. So I'm assuming those 3 play a lot into that IDP role. So I guess I would look to you guys to say, if you were where would you guys rank Darris Leonard in an IDP draft? Any linebackers, hella tackles, I broke on Smith. Yeah, I'm sure that's great too. Sam, I have Derrick Henry, Kareem Hunt, Hasty, Damon Harris. Oh yeah, Darris Leonard, I promise you, he's gonna be back this week. He's gonna stay healthy for the rest of the season, and you're not gonna regret having him. He's gonna be great for you. Okay, so Sam, you're gonna be getting Kyler, but you're giving away Chris Carson and T. Higgins, and right now you have Derrick Henry, Kareem Hunt, Hasty, Damon Harris. Okay, so just off the bat, I don't think you should give up Chris Carson. With Chubb coming back, Kareem Hunt is still gonna have value, but he's not gonna be as valuable as he is now. And I don't really like Hasty. I talk a lot about how I just hate Damon Harris. So honestly, you have Wentz, maybe just stick with him, because Kyler Murray has a little bit higher of a ceiling, but I don't know that it's like that much more that you should be giving up someone like a Chris Carson for so I think about the value, right? So the value that you'd be getting back from Kyler Murray over Carson Wentz is, I don't think, as high as much as you would be losing if you give up Chris Carson and have to start like you don't have a third running back. That's the thing. So I think if you're running Derrick Henry and Chris Carson as your RB1s and 2s and having Kareem Hunt in the flex, that's pretty solid. Like Kareem Hunt, I feel very comfortable in the flex. But I don't know that I would trust Kareem Hunt and maybe one of your other guys as like a flex every single week. So I would be very, very much more inclined to actually keep Wentz. I think people are undervaluing Wentz a lot, and I think he's gonna have a solid rest of the season. He's getting a lot of running. He's getting a lot of weapons back, right? He's getting Alshon back. He's getting a Rigger back as well. So, and he hasn't been doing that poorly. I'm pretty sure he's like a top 10 quarterback right now. So, I honestly think, it's tough, right? But I would keep him because you have Carson as a solid RB2. You have T. Higgins, which as much as we've seen right now, you should be able to play every single week. So I would be inclined to keep your guys instead of trading for Kyler Murray. Luke, what's up, my man? You made it. Thank you for coming so late. Yeah, Burke and Sam, I agree. Raul, do you think Damon Harris... So here's the thing with Damon Harris, right? If Cam wasn't playing quarterback, I think he has a lot more value, okay? I also think he's going to be completely valueless once Sonny Michel comes back, however you say his name. But as of right now, I'm not a huge fan of him. When Cam is in as quarterback, they do so many funky things where, also let me know if chat's coming back up again, because I feel like I'm not seeing it on my screen, but let me know if the chat is still on. But I don't like Damon Harris, because whenever Cam is in, they do so many funky things where they just don't use the running back that much. They don't run him. If anything, James White might benefit a little bit, because I think he might catch passes out of the backfield, but like I don't know that I like Damon Harris that much, man. I mean, he could always have a big game, like you said. And if they bench Cam, or like they start, okay, sounds good. Thank you, Luke. I appreciate it. It's it took a lot of effort for us to win this hat at a German bar. But yeah, like I said, I don't love Damon Harris. He hasn't really done much to show me, and I think there's a lot to figure out on that offense right now. Before he has any value. With Edelman out too, because I don't think he's playing. They have no one to throw to, right? So you really just have Cam, a bunch of nobody wide receivers, plus your running backs who they have in a very much committee. I mean, I don't think he's getting more than 10 touches in a game, so I honestly wouldn't trust him, unfortunately. I'm not. Damon Harris is someone that I've talked about it for a few weeks, where I'm like, hey, he's my sit of the week, or you need to sit him this week. He just has no value in that offense. Like, I'm honestly not touching anybody on that Patriots offense until they figure more things up. Luke, what do you think about Edmonds? I'm flexing behind Jacobs and Aaron Jones. That's good. I think you have a really good plan, because by the time that Kenyon Drake actually comes back, I think Aguilar should be back as well. So you'll have a solid flex, right? And the timing actually, honestly, might work perfectly. But the good thing about Edmonds, that I talked about in my last stream, is that he should have value even when Kenyon Drake comes back, because obviously we all know Kenyon Drake has sort of been he's been playing a lot lower than his actual value, his ADP that he was drafted at. And it seems like, I don't watch a lot of Cardinals games, but the last game that I saw, it seems like they used them a lot in the passing game as a pass catching back. So, like, I think he still has value where you want to keep him on your bench as a stash, as a handcuff, and as maybe a flex play in some weeks where you absolutely need to use him. So actually, I really like that, Luke. I think not only the timing works well because Eckler should be coming back soon, maybe when Drake comes back too, but he has a lot of value when he actually, even when Drake is back. So that's someone, Chase Edmonds is definitely someone that I want to keep on my bench and just kind of have him there because he's a solid running back, and Kenyon Drake he's not the guy right now, I don't think. I had a lot of people had high hopes for him this year, but he just hasn't really produced like he should. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of him, unfortunately. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, happy Halloween to everyone in the chat. I would love to see people's costumes. How was everyone's Halloween? Mine was great. We just kind of hung out on very low key. Obviously, a lot of stuff, with COVID and everything going on, especially I think in LA, people are pretty strict about it. So, it's been a low key but fun Halloween. Daniel, what's up, my man? Bernard or Jamal Williams? That's a tough one. I probably would go, honestly, Daniel, can you play both and flex someone else? Let me know what your other RBs are right now, because I like both of them a lot. Bernard, I think his average in PPR when mixing out is around 18 or 19 points. And yeah. James, what did you do? Did you dress up at all? Yeah, let me know, guys, chat, what did everyone dress up as tonight? I was lame. I had a little robe that I took off because it was hot. Because LA, we get the warm weather, but it was hot, so I took that off. But I just put on a hat, and I'll tell you guys about the story when the chat slows down a little bit. But yeah, it's a little trophy of mine. Ravens Hub is, for sure. I have Dalvin Cook, and I have to play. Okay, so, So you're sitting pretty nice at running backs right now. Let me look at my list for this week, because every week I make a list of all the guys that I like the most. So between, Bernard and Jamal Williams, I have Bernard. I have Bernard a little bit higher. And I guess, that makes sense. I think they're both going to play well, and I think they're both going to get a lot of opportunities. I wouldn't be surprised if either of them scored over 15 points, but I think Bernard is going to be involved in a little bit more of the offense for the Bengals versus Jamal Williams, where, you have a lot more options. Aaron Rodgers really likes to throw. So if you were to compare the two, I would say Jamal probably has a little bit less opportunity overall, potentially. And Gio just plays really, really well when Mixon's not in. So if I had to choose, gun to my head, I would probably choose Bernard for sure. Oh no, Green Bay's not playing the Vikings. Green Bay's playing Minnesota, I believe. Sam, do you think Cam Newton's droppable or give him that a chance? Carson Wentz is a bye next week. Yeah, so I don't like Cam. He started the season really hot, and I think there's always a chance that he gets back, but honestly, at this point, we're getting closer to the playoffs. There's a lot of guys I would rather have over Cam. And even if Cam starts playing well, I still don't know that I would trust him to be consistent. So someone like a Burrow, someone like a Wentz, someone like a Herbert. I think Herbert at this point is probably picked up in most leagues, but I kind of think Cam is more droppable. Sam, who else do you have in your league that's available right now? Because I'd be interested in seeing who else we can look at to potentially pick up instead of Cam. Jason, what's up, my man? Allen Robinson or Brandon Ayuk? I lean Ayuk. Both of them are going to get a lot of targets, and Allen Robinson especially is going to get forced a lot, but I like Ayuk a lot. If you look at my last start video, I actually have him as my start of the week. So me personally, I would go Brandon Ayuk over Allen Robinson, which might be a little bit of a surprise and unpopular opinion. The Saints defense is actually okay, and Raul says Allen Robinson over every wide receiver every week. Honestly, I still like Ike a little bit better. You know, the Seahawks defense isn't good at all, especially a pass defense, and with Debo out, he's going to be the primary guy, so I don't know if I like that. Benjamin, Allen Robinson or Kenny Golladay? Between those two, I would say Allen Robinson. Oh shit, Jason. You're repping the Joe, the Zal? For real? That's actually awesome. I feel like I never see that. Also, you guys are seeing 2 chats, so let me get rid of one. Oh, there we go. Jason, what's good? Let's go. You know, when you tell people how you pronounce your last name, I'm kind of curious. What do you say? Because I'm very torn right now. I know the right way to say it, but I also know what I should probably say it in the American way. So, you know, how do you pronounce your name? New England fell apart. Oh, New England fell apart so quick. You know, they had some really, really good games earlier on. I was like, man, Belichick is a mastermind, but they're falling apart quick. I wouldn't be surprised if Stephon Gilmore got traded. Sam, waiver Corby are very thin. People are hoarding 2 or 3 B. That's rough. I mean, keep Newton right now. I would say maybe if you have the spot. Wentz is obviously gonna be your everyday starter, but like I said, if you have someone like, I mean, honestly, even Tua. Is Tua available in your league? Because I would maybe pick him up over that. Jason says Zoe. Basically, I don't want them to have a bad time. Oh, for sure. Oh, Jason with the subscription. Let's go. You know, distant relative, my man, but that's my cousin right there. You know, for sure. I usually say, most people say Zhao. Zhao that I introduce myself to. I feel like saying, like, you know, Joe is very, like, people throw it off. And, like, when people ask me how to say it, when I say Joe, it's like, I think we both know that it's not actually, like, J-O-E. But it's very hard to, like, actually explain, like, what's the difference between the actual pronunciation of Z-H-O-E versus J-O-E. So, you know, just like, you know, whatever. I just kind of, it's funny because I just let people say whatever they want. They ask me if it's right. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. You did it completely right, man. Good job. It's tough. Oh, damn, Sam. Tua got picked up? Okay. Oh, no, I don't want to mess with that. Okay, so I mean, honestly, keep Cam. Can you list like the top like 3 or 5 quarterbacks that's left in your free agency? Because if it's really, really thin, then like keep Cam unless you need to get someone else. Because I do like the 2 quarterback just in case. But yeah, let me know what like the top like 3 to 5 quarterbacks are there right now. Jason, I definitely have to start saying it how it is in Chinese. I feel like after, oh, for sure, and that's the thing. When I was honestly, you know, I think you're new, I'm pretty sure you're new to my channel. I'm actually curious. Let me know how you found my channel. But yeah, when I first made my channel, I was trying to figure out what to do and like what kind of name to do, and ultimately I just decided, hey, I want to do my name. You know, the name is Daniel Joe, and I kind of want to just, you know, have the right pronunciation out there instead of, you know, if I have 400 or 500 subscribers later, I don't want everyone to think it's wrong. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to say my last name that much, but everyone's going to expect like Zhao, Zoe, Joe, like a Zhao or whatever. But yeah, for sure. Raul, I traded Jefferson, AB, Gesicki for Kittle. It's not honestly a big overpay, right? Because here's how I think of it. Like, obviously you paid a lot of guys for it. Jefferson, I think he's been very good. I don't know that he's been super consistent to consider him a solid wide receiver 1, but even so, like a wide receiver 1 for like a tight end 1 where Kittle and Kelsey are really just like the tier of their own, it's good, right? We don't know what AB is going to be like, and I think you did well. Gesicki, like, again, very like buy low right now because he could blow up, but like he could not. We like anyone on the Miami Dolphins right now is like a big question mark because we don't know what Tua is going to be like. So I actually don't like, you know, it feels like a lot of players, but like Kittle is solid. He will outscore a lot of wide receivers one every week. So like if you're okay at wide receiver, that's perfect because you know, over the last few streams I've been talking about, you know, if you have AB, what do, right? You either sell him high because his name is going to give you that super high value at the moment, or you keep him in hope. So I think what you did is correct. You sold him high, you got Kittle, and like Kittle is one of those fantasy players that like you want to have because he's so consistent. He's almost in a world of his own relative to the rest of his position. So I don't think you overpaid, man. Jason, I just needed waiver help, and yeah, I'm new. Yeah, for sure. No, that's great. Jason, how did you find my channel? Did you just find me on YouTube, or like did someone recommend you? Sam, okay, Mayfield, Stafford, Rivers. Oh, so you're 6-1, you're good. Honestly, dude, if I were you, I would maybe drop Cam for Mayfield. I know both of them are very inconsistent, but like, you know, Mayfield threw, like, as soon as OBJ went out, Mayfield threw 5 touchdowns, right? And that was his best performance of the season. And we don't expect him to, for sure, repeat that every week. But like, what if not having OBJ there is actually good for Mayfield, and he's actually going to be like a pretty relevant quarterback in fantasy? So like, if I were you, maybe drop Cam and just go pick up Mayfield, because if he does perform, like if he performs well this week, people are going to pick him up. So this is your last chance to pick him up in case he does go off. Bro, I still have MT, Keenan, Dion. Oh, okay, so you're good. So it might seem like a lot, but I like that for you because you got a solid fantasy player that's going to score you like 15 plus every week, so you're good. Richard Valentine, what's up, my man? You're new to the stream too, right? Welcome. Center fights Aguilar or Beasley? Great. So between the two, let me look at my list for this week. So for wide receivers, Aguilar. Between the two, I have Beasley as a start. I actually think weather-wise, the Browns and Raiders game is going to be pretty bad with wind, so I would maybe go Beasley because he has a solid top-tier floor. Oh, 6, Jason. That's awesome. I'm glad that YouTube's finally recommending me because it has not been doing it so far. So, no, that's awesome, man. And hey, Jason, we do weekly videos, waivers, stardoms, and we do a few streams every week. So, I'd love to continue to see you here, my man. And let me know if you have any more questions. Richard, great the trade I just gave up. GOB for TJ Hogg. That's not bad. If you needed that tight end, I don't think that's bad, especially if you have a few running backs you can start right now. Gio is only going to be relevant for maybe another, like this week and maybe one more week, but I think Mixon's going to come back where Gio's not going to have that much value. TJ Hawkinson's going to give you a decent floor every single week, so I think you're good. Mayfield has a bike as well, sorry. No, that's right. I mean, I think Sam, still in the long term, I would say that like Mayfield might be a better play than Cam, but honestly, you can't go wrong with either. I think Wentz is going to be your starter for most of the weeks moving forward, so it's just like who you want to pull the trigger on for a stash. Tao, my name is Sam. It throws me off every time. I'm glad you reached out to me in the call. Oh, for sure, Tao. Okay, so I'm going to call you by Sam now. For sure, Sam, what's good, my friend? Okay, that's awesome. Thank you for letting me know that. Daniel, I found your channel with some random videos comment section. Okay, yeah, I have been grinding a lot. I've been trying to comment in other, so the thing with right now, with me being a very, very, I'm a very small channel, so it's hard for me, I think, for YouTube to promote me, and there's a lot of, very complicated stuff that goes on in the background with like the algorithm and stuff. So what I try to do is I try to, comment on other fantasy videos where, a lot of these bigger channels that have like 10,000 plus subscribers, so I got to respond to every comment. So I try to, just talk to people, and if they feel like, hey, thank you for your suggestion, I will say, hey, come check out my channel, let me know. But I'm not trying to, go into comments and be like, yo, come look at my channel, whatever. I'm not trying to just spam that. So I try to help people through that, but the grind has definitely been tough because I feel like I have to go through a lot of videos, try and talk to people, interact with people, and try to pull them in. But I'm glad, hey, a lot of you guys have been here for, multiple streams in a row, so I'm very thankful for that. Sam, so Corey Davis, Jamal Williams. I like them both, Sam. I think maybe Jamal, because I still like running backs a little bit better, and Jamal is the number 1 option, whereas Corey, he's going to be like the 1B option to AJ Brown. Richard, should I drop Claypool for Jermichael No, Richard, I think you Claypool. I know that last week's performance is really disappointing, but he's gonna have a higher upside than Jermichael. Jermichael Hasty, and Hasty's gonna be I think he's irrelevant now. I always talk about how I hate the 49ers backfield, so I think you keep Claypool as a stash because he has a lot higher ceiling to be productive than Hasty, especially since Tevin Coleman's back now, and Mostert is going to be coming back soon too. Grizzlies, what's up, man? Do you think Jonnu Smith is going to have a good game after having less than? I think so. Jonnu Smith was, I think, injured. What was it, 2 games ago? And last game he finally came back slowly, but I had Jonnu Smith as my tier 2 tight end this week, so I think you're fine with him, and he should be one of those guys that's set and forget. Richard, no problem, man. I'm glad. Thank you. I appreciate the feedback, and hopefully you can continue to come in. Richard, I'm kind of curious. How did you find my channel? Did you just find me in a random search as well? Johnny Dang, what's up, my man? Is Cooper Kupp a good start this week? And DK backup? Yep, I think both of them are great starts. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with either one this week. Who else do you have going on, Johnny? Yeah, and I agree. There's too much depth in the Niners backfield. Yeah, and it's such a hard. Richard, thank you for subscribing. That means a lot to me. I appreciate that. Yeah, the 49ers backfield is very hard to figure out, so I want to stay away from them as much as I can. Oh, for sure, yeah, Dano, definitely, yeah, and I agree. That's how I go out and outreach people, and I think that's what I need to do because it's hard, again, for me to get discovered through YouTube search. So yeah, I appreciate that you came in here. How do you think Coleman would do? Personally, Rahul, if I had to guess, I think Coleman takes over that backfield right now. Out of everyone that's available right now, I think he is probably their best option. But again, that backfield, without so I rank him as Mostert. Then honestly, I think Jeff Wilson's their number 2. But everyone thought McKinnon was going to be the guy, and he wasn't. And I think with Coleman, McKinnon, and Hasty there, it's just a mess that you don't want to touch. Zach says, I agree, John. Yep. Alpha A, what's up, my man? Herbert or Wentz? I have Keenan Allen. Okay, so if you have Keenan Allen, don't worry about that, at all. So if you had to choose between Herbert or Wentz, I think, I have Wentz as a little bit higher, because of the Dallas defense. I don't think you could go wrong with either. Herbert has been, just producing so much recently, but it's hard to sit anybody against the Dallas defense, is what I'll say. So that's what I'll say. And we actually talked about this a little bit during my last stream. People were saying how many people from one team do you start at the same time? Don't think about that because you're trying to start your best players who do you think are going to get the most points, right? So the one thing I said, the only thing you consider is if you're starting 2 wide receivers from the same team, but otherwise, if you have a quarterback, a wide receiver, and running back from the same team, just start them. Don't worry about it. Just start them because you could jinx yourself, right? If you have, say, Justin Herbert, Eckler when he's back, and Keenan Allen, you don't want to overthink it and say, oh, I don't want to start one of them because, I don't want to, I want to sit Keenan Allen because I think Austin Eckler is going to get all the touches. Keenan Allen might be the one that gets all the touchdowns, and, maybe they score 30-plus points where Keenan Allen and Eckler both get touches and touchdowns. So don't even worry about that. A lot of people think about that, hey, I have the same players from the same team, or I have a quarterback from one team and my opponent has the wide receiver one from the other team. Don't overthink it. Just play your best matchups and play your studs. Nice, Richard. Okay, live fantasy football. Yeah, I actually think live fantasy football is one of those terms that's actually been getting me ranked a little bit, pretty decently. So yeah, that's awesome. And Richard, I guess you don't have to tell me where you live, but what time zone are you in? Because I know this is pretty late, so I'm kind of surprised that I know a lot of guys are up super late on a Saturday night before Sunday to just talk football, talk decisions. But yeah, I'm kind of curious, what time zone are you in? Cali, yo, what's up? SoCal, which part of Cali are you in? Sam, I hate having. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, the blessing in disguise is that like Steelers wide receivers, you don't. There's a lot, but like a lot of them honestly get a lot of touches and they get a lot of production. So it's not a bad group. I would much rather have the Steelers wide receivers than say like the Patriots running backs. Zach, sorry, I'm just getting to your question now. Le'Veon or Gaskin? I would probably go Gaskin. He's a primary back there. He doesn't have to really worry about sharing any touches. So even though the Chiefs are playing the Jets, and you can make an argument to say like, hey, they're probably going to go up and play Le'Veon a little bit more, he's still going to be splitting it with CEH. So, I mean, honestly, if you have Clyde starting as well, I would go Gaskin just to spread the love a little bit. Nick, what's up, my man? You're new to the stream too. Welcome. Denzel Mims or Cole Beasley? Who should I start at flex? I would go Cole Beasley. I like Mims a lot. I actually have him as one of my pickups and stashes in one of my recent videos. But I would definitely go Beasley because he has proven that he has a high floor and he's one of Josh Allen's favorite targets to go to. So I would go Cole Beasley for the floor. Johnny, is the Steelers defense a good start this week against Marlins, or should I pick up Titans, Bills, or Packers? Yeah, so, I don't know that I have a lot of confidence in the Steelers defense. Obviously very good, but they're playing the Ravens, right? They're one of the most explosive offenses in the league. Out of those, let me look at my list. Let me look at my rankings for this week. I think I like the Bills a lot. I think I have them pretty high, but you're still okay. So we're looking at Titans, Bills, or Packers. I would probably go. So I have Bills, then Titans, and then Packers. So if you had to choose one of those three, I would probably go Bills. Steelers, I have. Let me see. Where do I have the Steelers? I have them a little bit lower than the Bills, but just by a little bit. And also, it's a division game. I think, my one thing, I don't know if anyone else says this, but I think division games, you have to throw everything out the window because it gets so wonky. People can go off a lot, and, it's a lot of things will happen that you won't expect. So I would probably go Bills out of those. Oh, Richard, that's awesome. I'm in LA, too. That's good to hear. LA boys, we in here. Yeah, so Daniel said Titans have a good matchup. And yeah, I don't disagree with that. I just think as much as we think the Bengals might be a bad team, they still score a decent amount, and Burrow will probably throw it a lot. I don't love the Titans defense that much, so that's why I lean the Bills a little bit. I'm scared Burrow's. Yeah, exactly, Johnny. That's the thing. I think Burrow is a really, really solid quarterback, and he's getting more comfortable. I expect him to score at least 20 to 25 points. Zach, what do you think about Robbie Anderson's performance? It was tough this week, but I mean, it's one performance. It was one bad game, and like I said, division games, everything goes out the window. What you think is gonna happen is probably not gonna happen, and a lot of unexpected things happen. So don't worry about him. He's still gonna be a solid low end wide receiver 1 for the rest of the season. Ty, what's up, my man? Oh yeah, don't worry about it at all. Don't want to ask or ask. Oh no, yeah, I know, right? Ridley, that's rough. At least what it sounds like, a lot of his X-rays came back, so I think he's gonna be okay. But man, that's tough, right? That's the worst feeling in the world, where you just trade for a stud and he goes down. But I don't think he's gonna be out for that long. If anything more than just a week, unless I'm wrong about that. But I would say. I think you're okay. I mean, it sucks obviously for this week. Hopefully you can still get the W, but yeah, that's definitely tough. Dempy, is Donovan Peoples-Jones with a stat? Yeah, so I know this, you talked about it in the chat. I think he is, but like I was mentioning before, I still think he's gonna be the number 3, number 4 option. You have your Rashard Higgins, who seems to have a really good chemistry with Mayfield. You still have Landry there, so I think that's going to be sort of your 1A, 1B. When Chubb comes back, they're going to be a run-heavy team, and you still have Njoku, Harrison, Bryant, and Austin Hooper is going to come back eventually. So I don't know that he could be worth a stash, because I'd be curious to see how the wide receivers sort of get spread out with OBJ gone. I just don't think he's going to be a top option there, unfortunately. Alpha A, Deontay Johnson, Justin Jefferson, Robert Woods. Pick 2. I would probably go Justin Jefferson and Robert Woods. Deontay Johnson, he's the only reason I'm hesitant about him is because they're playing the Ravens D, and they've got a lot of mouths to feed. So I don't know, unless I don't trust him enough to say that he's like completely consistent every single week, especially when he's healthy with everyone else healthy. So I would probably lean the other 2, Jefferson and Woods, to be a little bit safer. Sam, trade Claypool for Jamal Williams. I don't know if that I would do that, because most likely you're not going to be able to use Williams this week because, unless your commissioner puts it through. I think Claypool has a little bit more value long term, especially when Aaron Jones probably comes back next week. Richard, should I flip Hawk after Philly's bye? I picked up Dallas. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you can't flip him for like a solid running back or wide receiver starter, I would do that, because Goddard, honestly, Goddard, I think he's going to be good for the rest of the season. He's going to get a lot of targets. I don't think TJ Hawk is that much more valuable than Goddard. So, yeah, if you have both, I would try and flip one of them for sure, because you definitely don't need 2 tight ends. Jose, bro, we see Antonio Brown. Yeah, I know, right? Well, the thing is, is Dez actually going to play? Because isn't he on the practice squad, right? So I don't think he's actually going to... Yeah, it seems like he's been doing well, but I don't know that he's going to actually play tomorrow. So I would love to see it. I just don't know if he's actually going to suit him and actually playing the game. Johnny, out of the 3 running backs, which 2 should I start? CH, Jamal, Boston Scott. Oh, that's tough. So here, let me look. Let's pull up the handy dandy ranking list again. So, we have Clyde, we have Jamal Williams, and Boston Scott, right? So I think Clyde the best out of those 3. And then, let's see. Honestly, I'd probably just go Clyde and Boston Scott between the 2. Like I was mentioning earlier, if you're playing the Dallas defense, I think you just go for it. Midfoot, yeah, Ty, I think I have a decent chance, but yeah, exactly. Next week might be a little dicey. I expect him to be back in the next week or 2, though. I mean, that's just bad luck. At some point, a lot of fantasy is just straight up luck, so I wouldn't worry too much about it, but I hope he gets back for you in the next week or 2. Kellis, will Hunt be a mid RB2? Oh, he definitely will. Hunt has a lot of value, and we saw that even when Chubb was healthy, because they used both, and I think the Browns are going to be a primarily running team when Chubb is back, so Hunt is still going to have a lot of value, and I think he's going to be a great RB2 start every week. Justin Jackson or Hasty at RB2. Zach, I would go Justin Jackson because I just don't like the 49ers backfield at all. And, there's only 2 guys in the Chargers backfield, and they're both going to get maybe 10-ish touches, so there's going to be a little bit more opportunity, I think. I mean, I don't think anyone knows who the actual starting running back is going to be for the 49ers, so I just don't trust them. Yeah, Johnny, that's fine, but I think, we've seen, Clyde's floor is 10 to 12 points every week, so I think it's going to be okay. Den P, Henderson, Gio, Jamal. Out of those 2, I would probably start Jonathan Taylor and Giovanni Bernard. I talked a little bit about it earlier, so I mean, they're all going to be great, right? But I just think Jonathan Taylor and Gio are going to be your best bets and highest ceilings. Henderson has a really great matchup. I have him as my start. I have Giovanni Bernard actually as my start of the week. Both Henderson and Jonathan Taylor as my starts. But I would probably go JT and Gio here. That's what I would do for sure. And let me just... Yeah, because I have Jonathan Taylor ranked in my sort of tier 2 of running backs. Giovanni Bernard I have sort of like tier 3-ish. Henderson I have a little same tier as Gio, but a little bit after him, and Jamal a few after that. So I would go JT and Gio. What should I get in a trade for Hunt? Yeah, so Kellis, like I was saying before, Hunt is going to be a solid RB2. So if you trade for him, you want to look at your team and see where your weaknesses are. Either get back someone if you want running back, maybe a Darrell Henderson or Gaskin that we've been talking about, someone that you can start every week, or like a wide receiver, someone like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you can get AJ Brown. You can maybe try and get AJ Brown for him. That would be a really good trade for you. But if you're trading away Hunt, you want someone that you can start every single week, regardless of matchup, essentially. Johnny, do you think AJ? I don't think so. He's a rookie. I think he could definitely be featured, especially if the Packers go up high. But assuming in a normal game, I like, at least from what we saw last week, I don't think he's gonna take up that much. Like, I think it's gonna be Jamal Williams' show. There's always that concern, but you know, like I said earlier, I would still start Gio and JT. Hunt for Keenan. That's not a bad. Den. I don't think that's actually a bad at all. Like Keenan, I was trying to think of like, you know, wide receivers who are like maybe wide receiver 2 status right now that has wide receiver 1 upside. And I think Keenan Allen with Herbert really getting more comfortable and slinging the ball a lot. I think that's a really good trade. Matty, what's up, man? You're new to the channel too, man. Welcome. Who would you start in flex for full PPR? Marquise Brown or Le'Veon Bell? Ooh, that's tough. I would honestly lean Bell, mainly because I don't like what Marquise Brown has shown us so far. So even though Le'Veon Bell is like the option 2, I think there's a good chance that the Chiefs get up early where they start featuring Bell a little bit more. And we, you know, obviously there's that whole like revenge game, you know, whatever hype over him. So if I had to choose, I would probably go Le'Veon Bell. Kellis, I'm 4-3, so I'm in an odd spot. I'm looking for, yeah, exactly. So, you know, I think, you know, what Den P said was like great. If you can get someone like a Keenan Allen, I think that's great. It'll be hard to get a solid wide receiver 1, so you definitely need to look for someone who's like a wide receiver 2 with a wide receiver 1 upside. So AJ Brown maybe, you know, Keenan Allen maybe. Matteo, thank you so much for the subscription. That means a lot to me. I appreciate that. I'm kind of curious, what's the rest of your team looking like? Johnny Dane, what do I do with Drake and Thomas turning the bitch? You gotta just, you know, I'm assuming you're talking about Michael Thomas, right? You just gotta keep him in the stash. The thing with Drake is like, he is the running back 1 for that team, but he isn't being used as running back 1. So he's in that category where it's like, I can't really drop him, right? Because he's gonna be an immediate pickup by anybody. But he's really frustrating to own. So I think if you can maybe, honestly, dude, if you can package those 2 for someone that's a super high start, like a solid starter, I think that's great. Johnny, thank you for the subscription. That means a lot. Thank you. I appreciate that. If you can package those 2 for someone, good. That's great. Otherwise, you gotta sit on it. Drake and Thomas should both be back soon, so they could be, you know, just, you know, very solid starters for you going to the playoffs. Yeah, Thielen too. Den, yeah, I agree. You know, Jefferson, Thielen, I think they're both great guys to trade for. So yeah, you really gotta think. You gotta think. You know, wide receiver 2 with a lot of wide receiver 1 upsides. Kellis, let's see. You got Watson, Moore, Chark, A-Rob, Boyd, Woods, Claypool. Okay, and then for running backs, you have Henry, Hunt, Cook, Sanders, Mixon, Andrews. So, oh, for sure. Yeah, and like you said, that's actually smart. You know, try and bait Hunt a little bit, see what you can get. If there's someone you really like, I think throwing in Claypool is really good. You can even honestly throw in someone like a Robert Woods, but maybe if Claypool has you know, another great game, maybe try and do that. But yeah, I think ideally if you have Hunt plus a sort of wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2, you should be able to get a solid wide receiver 1 for that. Barcom, what's up? Welcome. Jose, is Tom Brady gonna win another Super Bowl? Yeah, we talked about this a little bit. Hold on, I'll get right back to it. Johnny says Cup has been so consistent. Should I keep him or trade? Yeah, you could trade it for quality, but I just don't know that you'd be getting a lot more. I think, if once the Rams schedule gets a little bit better, hopefully Cup will be a little bit better, but I just don't know that you're going to be getting a lot more value out of Holiday, honestly. Okay, we talked about this a little bit, Super Bowl, so I have a few favorites, and I want to think about teams that are a little bit more complete. So on the AFC side, I actually really like the Steelers. Steelers and Titans, I think we might see them as in a rematch in the AFC Championship. Chiefs, yeah, right? Then you can never really count out the Chiefs, but they honestly haven't looked that explosive. On the NFC side, I think the Packers have a good team. I think the Seahawks are good, but I don't like their defense. The Bucks have a really good chance because they have a solid offense. So with AB back, if he's gonna be a baller, then that might be a scary offense, and they have a really good defense. So there's always a good chance. Bar, so welcome to the chat. I didn't give you a proper greeting. Thank you for coming in. So no CMC, Aguilar, or Mostert, and my choices are Justin. Oh, Joey, yeah, that's rough. Between the two, I would definitely go Justin Jackson if I were you. Johnny, yes sir, Young Wei Koo, that's my boy. I don't know if my other fellow Asian brothers, or I guess we got probably a few Asian brothers in here, but yeah, Young Wei Koo, let's go. I love that. I don't know if Jason's still in here, but yeah, that's my boy. I like Young Wei Koo a lot, and I like Hot Rod Rodrigo Blankenship a lot this week. Or sorry, not this week. I always get the times wrong. I don't know why I say that wrong. I like him this year a lot. Cool, let's go, baby. He went off this week too, right? I'll also be right back. I'm gonna get some more water. I'm talking way too much. Alrighty. Yeah, bro, I think it's just, honestly, because it's Korean, so, honestly, a lot of times, at least, from my background as for being Chinese, you have your way, like, you have your names and your words in the Asian language that you pronounce, but it gets really messed up when you translate it, or, you try to pronounce it in English. So it's not a 1-to-1, and honestly, they probably just either it was how you would spell it in Korean, or they try to that's how it would sound in Korean, but in English it's very different. So yeah, otherwise it is Young Wei Koo. It's as much as we want it, it's not Young Ho Ko or it's not Young Ho. So that would be pretty baller. I'm sure all of his teammates call him Young Ho, and he just accepts it. So I wish that was it, but for me, if I'm providing you guys accurate information, I want to pronounce the name right. So it is Young Wei Koo. Ernest, what's up, my man? Welcome in. Should I trade Diggs and Hutt for Kittle? Ernest, how post the rest of your lineup in. I'm kind of curious to see what your wide receiver and running back situation is. Tata, welcome. Pick 2, Rieger, Coleman, or Rashard Higgins. Oh, that's tough. I would go Higgins and honestly, the last one I would say look and see if there's any news on that backfield tomorrow morning. I've been telling my chat I really don't like the 49ers backfield. If Coleman's actually going to be the starter, play him. Otherwise, go Rieger because that backfield is really messy. Bar, thank you. I was leaning towards Jackson. How about T. Higgins with Highwind or Travis Fulgham? Yeah, I think they're both going to be really good plays. The only thing I'm concerned about with Fulgham is the fact that I think Alshon is back this week and Goddard is back this week. That's tough. I would maybe, let me see where I have him in my rankings actually, because I'm sure I have him very, very close. I like both. If you can start both, I probably wouldn't be opposed to that. But let's see. So Fulgham, yeah, I literally have them back and back. I would probably go Fulgham just because they're playing the Dallas D, and this is probably one of the best matchups they're gonna have. Johnny, should I pick up Tua and keep him to see his stud? Yes. I mentioned this, so go check out one of my latest videos, my waiver wire video. So anyone is in chat right now. If you don't have a solid quarterback 2 or you have the space, go pick up Tua, because I guarantee you right now, he is going to be your last chance at a QB1 potential for the rest of the season anywhere else. You know, he's going to come in. He looks sharp. He only threw like 3 passes when he was in there, but like he is a really, a great quarterback. We'll see how he adjusts, but he is your last chance at a QB1 this season. So if you have the room, please go pick up Tua and stash him. Min, what's up? Welcome. Hey Daniel, James Carter, Philip Lindsay, rest of the season. Oh, that's tough. I would probably lean Philip Lindsay. I was talking about this a little bit earlier, Min. I don't like anyone on the Patriots offense unless they can start figuring their stuff out. Sonny Michel is going to come back soon, and that backfield is going to get even more crowded. But I can't trust that offense until I see more. So I would lean Philip Lindsay, even though he's the number 2 option at running back for the Broncos. Rock out, Bills or Chargers? They're both great starts this week. Let me look at my ranking list this week. I have Chargers slightly higher than the Bills, so I would probably lean that way. Dimpy, right? Herbert, oh yeah, for sure. Well, maybe. I think that could very well be true, but no one expected Herbert, right? So if you guys were with me since the beginning, I told you guys to pick up Herbert like 3 weeks ago, so I hope you all did. But Tua, I'm telling you guys, like, I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Herbert or like even a good quarterback, but he is your last chance at a QB1 for the rest of the season. So please, if you need quarterback help and you just stash him, go do it. Don't do it if you have someone like a Herbert and like Lamar, like Patrick Mahomes and like Justin Herbert. Don't do that if you don't need him. But like if you don't have a solid QB2, go pick him up, please. Tata, good looks for advice, bro. Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, good luck, and I hope to see you in a future stream for sure, man. Thank you for coming by. Ernest, okay, I'm in 8-man league PPR. Team is Aaron Jones, Kareem Hunt, Jonathan Taylor, Riggs, Noah Fant. That's looking good right now. Is Watson a good? Yeah, I think Watson's a good QB, mainly just because he has, with the coaching scheme now, he has a lot of opportunities to really chug the ball deep. You have Fuller and Brandon Cooks, who are both really good deep options, and honestly, like, even if they're going to be playing back from a lot, he's going to be throwing a lot. So I think Watson is a very solid option, and like probably like a top 7 top 8 rest of the season, I would say. Dimpy, Lindsay is healthy. Yep. Start Ramsey or Coatsy this week. That's a tough one. Let me see where I have them ranked. So I actually think like maybe start Coatsy. Ramsey is like, okay. So here's the thing. Coatsy, I think, is like, I don't think the Detroit Lions are good enough to be able to just go all over their defense, and the Colts are getting some key defensive players back, like Darris Leonard. With the Rams, I think there's a lot of question, right? You would think, so on paper, the Rams are a good start because they're playing the Dolphins, and they have a rookie quarterback that we don't know. But the we don't know part is a little bit scary to me, and I kind of like Tua. I don't think he's going to look that bad. Obviously there's the potential for a lot of turnovers, but I have them both very close on my rankings for this week. I lean the Colts a little bit because we know what the Colts defense is about versus Rams, where we don't know what the offense of Miami is going to look like with Tua. The offense with Miami actually looked pretty good with Ryan Fitzpatrick, and if Tua is any better at all, that means they're still going to be able to move the ball. They're still going to be able to score points. So I kind of lean the Colts this week, man. Bar, I have AJ Brown and Metcalf starting, or I'll just do both. Oh, for sure. Oh yeah, definitely. I get that. Philly defense, yep. Johnny, I don't understand. I'm 3-4 and I have Herbert, CH, Cooks, Williams, Kupp, DK, Kittle, Boston Scott. Yeah, I mean, 10-man, I wonder if other people just have higher, better wide receiver ones, running back ones. Like, yeah, I mean, you have a solid team. I'm kind of curious, Johnny. The other thing you should look at is like where you rank for like how many points you scored this season versus how many points you've scored against. Because honestly, like I'm also 3-4. I think third highest scoring in one of my leagues, and I just have like a lot of points scored against me. So you might be able to score a lot of points every week, but you might just get unlucky where the team you play just goes off that week and like outscores you by just a few points, you know? It doesn't matter how many points you score, it's whether or not you score more than your opponents. And I know that sounds stupid, but that's honestly half of it is luck. Rock. Zeke, CH, Scott, Jamal, pick 3, no PPR. For this week, I would go CH and Boston Scott, I would say. Jamal Williams is also a good option too. I don't want to trust Zeke until I see something better, especially with Dennison playing quarterback this week. He's not gonna have a good time. Ernest, should I trade Hunt or keep him? With Chubb coming back, he's still gonna have value. We were talking about this earlier. If you can get like a solid wide receiver or running back that you might need, I think it's okay. But Hunt is still gonna have value with Chubb back, so I wouldn't worry about it. But it's not a bad idea to try and trade him because he has been doing really well for someone that's maybe the primary back as opposed to secondary. But I wouldn't even say he's a secondary to Chubb. It's more like 1A, 1B. So he's still gonna have value when Chubb gets back. Versus Philly defense versus bad, or Tampa Bay versus the Giants. I like Philly. Philly is my start of the week. Philly's my start of the week in my starts and sits video, so check that out. But the Bucks have a really good matchup as well, but I like Philly a lot. Yeah, Den, right? Left-handed quarterbacks. We need more of those. That's great. So Ernest, you just got offered Fulgham, Gaskin, and Kittle. So you're getting Fulgham, Gaskin, and Kittle for Hunt, Dix, and Fant. Ooh. Man, I actually kind of like the guys you're getting back. Because Kittle is a way better tight end than Fant. Obviously, Dix is a little bit better than Fulgham, but Fulgham is so decent. And like, with Chubb coming back, I kind of lean Gaskin a little bit because he's the primary back. Ernest, I would take that. If I were you, I think I would take that. I would get Fulgham, Gaskin, and Kittle for sure. And Rahul, like you said, yeah, that's true. Fulgham back, that's a one question mark, but like you're getting a very decent running back and like a way better tight end back, so that's why I kind of think you pull the trigger. Johnny, is Scott Miller a good waiver wire pickup this week? And is Dimitri? No, Johnny, don't. I'm not enough of a gambling man to go Danucci. So, do you need a quarterback this week, or what's the situation with you? Otherwise, I think Scotty Miller's a good pick. I think this is going to be one of the last weeks where he's actually going to be viable to use because, Mike Evans is going to draw all the coverage. You don't have Godwin or AB this week, so I think I'm personally playing Scotty Miller. I beat myself over this because I was choosing between Scotty Miller and Curtis Samuel for a flex this week, and I honestly just flipped the coin and it went to Scotty Miller, so I hope he goes off, and I think he will. Dempy, I scored the second base. Yeah, that's just tough. That's a worse one. Like your matchup features the number 1 and number 2 highest scoring points and you lose. That's honestly just bad luck, but what can you do with it, right? Sam, thank you for coming back. Hopefully see you Tuesday night for the waiver wire stream. But yeah, good night to you as well, and good luck. Let me know how you do. Very curious. Rock out. Deontay Johnson, Woods, Fulgham, Ayuk. Pick one. I like Ayuk a lot. He's my start of the week, so I'm gonna stick with him. Ayuk. And Dempy, exactly right. Hey, doesn't matter. If you go into the playoffs like 500, one game before 500. Once you get in the playoffs, everything's off the table, and that's all you need to do. And I don't care if you're facing the number 1 scoring team in the season. Anything can happen in the playoffs, man. So just gotta make the playoffs. Amen. Johnny, thank you so much, and I appreciate you coming in. Keep on coming to the streams, and I'll hope that I can continue to help you. Rahul, second most points going up and against. Oh yeah, at that point, it's just bad luck. Ernest, let's go. Yeah, man, you got a really good trade. Feel happy with it. I think you got a lot more value out of the trade than your opponent. So, hey, man, congrats. Yeah, everyone, big claps in the chat. Do you like? I love Jonathan Taylor. I talk about him a lot. I think his stock is only going up. He is still the primary back on that team, and he's used a lot in the passing game. So, the Colts just had their bye. I think they're gonna figure a lot of things out, and again, new quarterback, new offense, injured wide receivers. They're figuring a lot of things out. So as I get more weapons back, JT is the only, I don't see him going anywhere else but up. So I love him. Honestly, he might be your running back one for the rest of the season. Raul, I ask you, Deontay or Jefferson? Yep. I still like Jefferson a little bit more. Main reason is because Jefferson plays on a team where I think the Vikings are going to be playing from behind a lot, and they're going to be throwing a lot. And the Kirk Cousins to both Thielen and Jefferson connection is very solid. I'm pretty sure Thielen and Jefferson are rated maybe 1 and 2 in PFF wide receiver rankings this year. So I like him a lot more. Deontay, only reason I don't have him over Jefferson is because injury concerns, number of mouths to feed, and the fact that the Steelers are a way better offense where, they're still going to feature their running back a lot, and they're not going to be playing from behind as much as the Vikings. So I would choose Jefferson over Deontay. Yeah, big clap, Sam. Rock out Noah Fant, Goddard, and drop TJ. Out of those three, if you were to keep two, I actually think maybe TJ and Goddard. Goddard, I'm super high on for the rest of the season, as long as he doesn't get injured again. And TJ Hawkinson is just on a little bit better of an offense that I think I trust him, because it seems like Stafford is using him a lot more this year than last year. The Broncos offense, I think they're still trying to figure a lot of stuff out, right? I think Fant and Hawkinson are very similar players, and they're going to both serve similar purposes for their quarterbacks. But I just trust the Lions offense a little bit more than the Broncos, since I think the Broncos are trying to figure a lot of things out, and Drew Locke is still prone to interceptions. So I'm in a $200 10-man league with buddies, and I've won 3 titles twice. Oh hell yeah, that's it. Yeah, and like we said, all you got to do is make it to the playoffs, right? Because once you're in the playoffs, it's 1 and out. So exactly, I completely agree with you there. That's great. I'm glad. That's awesome that you won 3 titles. Hopefully you got some good money. What I'm kind of curious. What do you spend your winnings on? RB sleepers. Yep, there definitely are. So let's think about this. So La'Mical Pirine, I've talked about for 2 weeks in a row. I don't know if he's still available. I think he's become somewhat of a popular waiver wire pick, but I think that's someone you want to look at. Nyheim Hines is a good sleeper because I like the running backs where to stash where they're not the running back one, but they have 2 things going for them. Where number one, they are used in the offense as well. But number 2, if the number 1 goes down, they're automatically, a super high value lottery pick. So I like Nyheim Hines a lot as well. Otherwise, let me think. Let me actually look at my list from last week, because I feel like I had a few good. One super deep. If you guys want, anyone in the chat right now, if you have a room, super deep sleeper that honestly there's a good chance that he might not see any playing time at all this year. But if his number 1 running back goes down, he's automatically going to be the most popular waiver wire pick. That's Jeremy Mcnichols. He is a Tennessee Titans backup. Derrick Henry is built like a freaking tank, right? So the chances of him getting injured and being out is very, very low. But if you have Jeremy McNichols stashed, and for some reason Derrick Henry doesn't play or gets injured, he's automatically going to be, in that running back 1 status, because the Titans score so many points that I don't care how good or how bad their O-line is, which obviously they have a good O-line. he's going to be a really, really good, player to start until Henry's back. So, Jeremy Mcnichols, you guys heard it here first. Again, this is probably the deepest stash that I can think of, but I like Jeremy Mcnichols as a super sleeper. Rock out Eagles or Colts seed. As much as I want to say Colts, I would go Eagles this week because they're playing the Nucci Gang and the Dallas Cowgirls, and I mean, something strange is going to have to happen in the fantasy world for them to actually do well. So I would go Eagles are my start of the week this week. Sam, Snell, yep, exactly. Snell could also be good. We see him having value even with James Conner in, and James Conner does have an injury history. So I think that's a great pick too. That fits both of my criteria. Someone that has value even when their running back one isn't injured, and automatically becomes an RB1 when their starter goes down. So Snell is a great pick. Ernest says, so my team now is QB Watson. Okay, RB1 Aaron Jones, RB2 GT, Ridley, Golladay, Flex, Gaskin, Godwin, Fulgham, Ditto. What should I look to improve? I think you have a solid team there. Once Godwin comes back, you plug him in. I think that's great. Honestly, I don't know that you need to improve that much. Ernest, what's your record? I'm kind of interested. I'm assuming you're probably like 5'2" or 6'1", right? Bro, I have Madison stashed whenever. Oh, for sure. Oh, definitely, Raul. I think Madison is a great. I don't think he fits the bill as much as someone that has value when Cook is there, but yeah, he's. I mean, we saw the rush. Unfortunately, he kind of flopped the 1 week Delvin was out, right? But Delvin also has injury concerns too, so I don't consider him as a 16 game starter. So I think Madison's a great stash as well. Let's see, Matteo. All right, sounds good. Good luck to you as well, man. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate you coming through. Ernest, that's good. I mean, you don't know that. I don't think you know that you're going to lose. Anything can happen, man, so I wouldn't worry about that. But I like your team. I don't think you should mess around with it. I mean, you're doing well. You're probably in a good spot to get in the playoffs, so don't mess with it if it's working. Bro, all my money goes to my wife and daughter. Oh, that's great. Oh, congrats, Den. That's awesome. Wow, twin girls. So you're going to have 3 girls in a family, man. Hey, yo, big ups. Claps in the chat. That's actually awesome. Congrats to you. Maybe there'll be Super Bowl girls. That's awesome. I'm sure you're as much. I don't know how much your wife cares about it if you play fantasy, but I'm sure she appreciates a repeated fantasy champion who just brings home the bacon. So that's awesome to hear. Congrats, dude. Rockhouse says pick up P. Ryan and DJ Dallas if Carson's down. I like P. Ryan, especially because I think he's going to be a little bit. I'm assuming you're talking about Michael P. Ryan. I think he's going to be great for the rest of the season. He is one of the guys that I've been talking about for a few weeks in my videos as a pickup, and I think I know he has been taking more and more volume away from Frank Gore. So even though the Jets are bad, that's technically a starting running back. So I like P. Ryan a lot better than DJ. Min. Trade Allen Robinson and Hunter Henry for DK. Do you have another tight end available to replace Henry? Or can you pick up another Henry? Can you pick up another tight end? Raul, my bench in one league this week is Miles Sanders, Murray. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that just happens, right? Sort of as we get into the middle of the season, that's when the bench starts getting a little bit rough, but it's all good. It happens. You have Goddard. Okay. So honestly, if that's the case, Allen Robinson or DK are both decent wide receiver 1 options. I think I would maybe pull that trade. I think I like DK a lot, even though he had kind of a flop game. Maybe see if you can min, honestly, because he had a bad game last week. Maybe see if you can just trade Allen Robinson straight up. If not, I don't mind that trade because I really like DK Metcalf. Dimpy, tell me if the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. I'm watching even if she's in labor. Den, are you a big Chiefs fan? I don't know if we ever talked about that. Maybe we have, so I apologize if I forgot about it. But yeah, are you a Chiefs fan? And I will be right back getting some more water. Wins for Big Ben this week. If you're talking about a rock, I would say not Big Ben. I would say Wentz. He like I've been saying all stream. They're playing the Cowboys, and I like that a lot. So I would go Wentz. I think that also Big Ben's playing the Ravens, and that's a tough defense. So division games. I think they can be a crapshoot, but I do like Wentz a lot more. Sam, just traded Claypool for Williams. Hey, that's fine. That's completely fine. And, I think Jamal is going to be decent, with Aaron Jones back, and he'll have opportunities. So, don't be sorry at all. I don't, even though I said I like Claypool a little bit better, I was thinking more long-term and for the, potential. But, yeah, if you need, if you're at 3 or 4, you need the immediate production. Go for Jamal. I don't think that's bad at all. James, welcome back. Rock, yep, for sure. Sam, GB has a short week. They're playing again on Thursday. Oh yeah, for sure. That's not bad. And hey, if Jamal ever goes down, you got yourself a high RB2. So that's not bad at all. I like that. I like that a lot. See, do this. Here we go. Let me get chat box a little bit better. I'm sorry. I know you guys said you preferred it on this side, and I don't know why I put it back. So I'm gonna expand it a little bit more. Hopefully it's bigger. But I definitely did mess with my chat box a little bit more. But I'm glad it's finally actually working because I know a bunch of you guys requested it. But yeah, Sam, I don't think that's a bad. You're fine. It's not a bad trade. I think there's a lot to say about, the Steelers wide receivers, especially if Deontay's healthy, so don't worry about it. Ernest, yes. Don't even get me into Blankenship. He's a great start if you have him. That's one of the guys where you just leave him in there and you just don't even worry about him for the rest of the season. He's a set and forget. He's gonna be a top kicker for the rest of the season. I guarantee you that. Sam, for sure. And you're good, dude. Don't worry about that. Like I said, it's a good trade. Don't even regret it. You made it. You've got a great player on your hands, so you're fine. Dempy. Diehard Chiefs. My last name is Priest. Oh, hell yeah, Priest Holmes. For sure. Are you Dead. I'm kind of. Are you from what's your roots with Kansas City? Why are you a fan of them, bro? Should I start Lutz this week? I think Lutz will be a fine start. I know there's talks about the win. I'm not as concerned about it, and maybe I should be more. I actually have. Let me see. I have a page open. It was weather report for next week. It was something super random. I found that was actually super. It was kind of useful. It was specific to fantasy football. It talked about the weather. Okay, NFL weather report. Let's see. So what's it looking like at Chicago? So orange, similar. Wind's getting lighter late. Okay, so from this report that I'm seeing right now, it's very similar to the Green Bay weather. But the games are starting later, and the winds are gonna get lighter late. So the experts think we're gonna miss the worst of the impact here, or at least avoid them for the later half of the game. I think it'll be okay. Let's do some kicker that I don't know that the winds are gonna affect him too much. So I think it's a good start right there. I can't believe it. How are you guys all up so late? It's 1 a.m. Pacific right now. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm honestly excited for the games. Tannehill, Burrow. They both have really good match. I mean, they're playing against each other, right? I like Tannehill a little bit more. I think it could potentially be a shootout. But I do like Tannehill a little bit more this week, so I would go with him. Oh, I know. Well, 3 a.m. Eastern, yeah. Or it's got to be 4 a.m. Eastern, right? 10 p.m. from Canada. I knew I wasn't a Bills fan. Love Priest Thompson, Charles Johnson. Hell yeah, that's awesome. I mean, hey, this is... I envy you. This is a great time to be a Chiefs fan, and honestly, with that mega contract that he signed, unless something happens to Mahomes, this is gonna be a great 10 years to be a Chiefs fan. So, congrats to you. Oh, that's right, yo. It's daylight savings, right? Yeah. So anyone that's in 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., I guess 3 a.m. and move back, that's crazy. That's weird because that means we're actually only maybe, is that how it works? We're only 2 hours apart until it hits 2 a.m. here? That's wild. Which, Den, sorry, I don't remember if you're in America now, but do you still live in Canada right now, Den? James, do I drop Coleman for Hasty? I don't like either, but if I had to choose, I would choose Coleman personally. I think he's a starter if he's healthy. Sam, I'm a Poland all-nighter trying to correct what's been going on with your sleep. Is it work schedule or what or school schedule? Or what's wrong with your actual sleep? And what games am I excited for? So let's see. And let me pull up all the games for tomorrow. So I'm excited for my Colts to come back. I hope they, rock the Lions. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, like I said earlier, I think that's going to be a really, really good game. We're going to see two of the two top AFC teams play. Let's see. A lot of games are kind of mismatches. I guess I'm kind of excited to see Titans and Bengals. And honestly, the other one I'm kind of excited for is Raiders and Browns. I think they both have a lot of momentum right now going into things. So yeah, I think that'll be a good game. Otherwise, a lot of them seem on paper a little lopsided. Damn, Sam, your coworkers have another hour. If you don't mind me asking, what kind of work or what kind of industry are you in that your coworkers are working this late? Because this is late. Ernest, honestly, if that's your only chance, I don't think that's a bad thing to look to. I mean, I feel like Lamar has been sort of underperforming a lot, and I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't have a great game against the Steelers because of that. Because of that defense. So I wouldn't be surprised. Oh man, that's tough. Huh. So you're in some sort of field where you have to kind of switch shifts. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know if I mean, I drink a lot of caffeine, so maybe I can do that, but I'm sure that's super tough on you, just physically having to work nights, having to work nights and then mornings and switching your sleep schedule a lot. That's tough. Kudos for you for being able to do that, because that's I don't know that I can do that, honestly. Damn, Dad, you have dual citizenship in Croatia. That's so sick. Which part of Canada do you live in? That's actually awesome, man. In Croatia. I'm playing 4 guys and then she's, oh man, good luck. I'm assuming Mahomes, Kelsey, Tyreek, and Clyde. Is that right? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, okay, that's Space Force. Have you ever? I don't know if you've seen this, and I don't know if it would be offensive to you to watch it, but have you seen what is this the Netflix show with Steve Carell? It's Air Force or Space Force or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? Let's see, Steve Carell, Space Force on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen that, and like, I'm sure you would just roll your eyes and like, maybe it's super inaccurate, but that's the one thing I thought about. What? Dang, that's crazy. 12-hour nights. What? I guess if you like, whatever you want to disclose. But what kind of work are you in that you do 12-hour nights? But yeah, Sam, that's awesome. Like, thank you for your service in the military. That's great. Kelsey, Tyreek Bell, and Buckner. Okay, yeah, that's tough. Yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, I don't think he's gonna be playing those guys again in Week 10. I live between Niagara Falls and Toronto. My rifle. Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Huh. How are things in Canada right now dealing with like COVID? I feel like I know it's a lot better than the US, but I'm kind of curious like how things are where you are. Yeah, so it is funny. I'm a big Steve Carell fan for sure. And like I enjoyed it. But as someone who's in that industry and very familiar with like the ins and out, I'm sure though however they portray the Space Force in the show, it's very much like it's probably like you're probably gonna be like this is so stupid, like this is not accurate, or like this is not what we do. But yeah, I would give it a watch. I like it. I don't know if any of you guys are Office fans in here, but yeah, I liked it just because I like Steve Carell a lot. But it's hard to see him as anything besides Michael Scott. Ernest, you live in Toronto too. Yeah, Sam, it's a little bit like The Office for sure. And like I said, it's hard to like. We know Steve Carell pretty much for his Michael Scott character, so it's just so hard to like get it out. No matter how good of an actor he is, to switch to something else, it's like that's Michael Scott. Man, that's cool. So Canada boys in here. I lived in Canada for a little bit too when I was younger, not only for a year. But yeah, I'm sure like I guess Ernest or Den, you guys can let me know. But I'm assuming COVID is probably a lot better in Canada than it is in the United States, and I'm sure that you guys don't want anyone from the US to be coming to Canada at that moment. For sure, man, Sam, that's awesome. I think that's what everyone needs to look for. That's, one of the things is I feel like I know so many people who like do things just to do it and say they're doing it. But hey, man, if you find fulfillment in doing that's great, and that's all that matters, honestly, at this point. So very, very good for you. Again, like I said, I very much appreciate what you're doing, and I'm glad that's what makes you happy. So. Shout out to you. Claps in the chat, baby. I guess I should also be putting... oh man, these YouTube emojis are weird. Let's see. If I were to just... There we go. Clap, clap, clap. I guess I could probably be participating a little bit more. But hey, I want to get all of your thoughts on it. I was thinking about, so I know we talked about this a little bit for future content. So like I said before, I do weekly stuff on starts and sits, as well as waiver wire pickups. But I'm thinking about doing a video on maybe like playoff and defense stashes. I know a lot of people want to playoff player stashes too, but I'm wondering if defense might be a little bit better because at least, with defenses you have the... at least with defenses, you have the option to pick them up versus with players, you might have to make trades. So let me know if you guys would be interested in like a playoff, like, hey, this is the week you want this defense, this is another week you want that defense. I'd be happy to do that. It's pretty good in Canada generally, but Toronto is similar to US. Oh, geez, okay. Sam, you had a story for us or from earlier? I don't know if you're talking to me or someone else. I don't think I did, unless I'm missing something. Okay, so Toronto is kind of okay. Then, okay, that's awesome. Hey, healthcare worker. Shout out to you too. That's awesome. Yeah, but I'm glad to hear that. I feel like, obviously, US is the worst out of pretty much like anyone else. So that's tough, right? But I'm just hoping things get better. And oh wow, Ernest. Okay, Ernest, are you in college right now? Yeah, and with U.S. right now, going back to the whole like COVID stuff, it'll be really, really interesting to see, once the election's over next Tuesday, right? I think that's it is. Man, I'm an American. I don't even know. Let's see, election Tuesday. I think it's next Tuesday. I just don't want to say it wrong. Election Tuesday. I think it's next week, right? But otherwise, I'm kind of very, very curious to see what happens once whoever wins. And what happens with COVID. But high school. Okay, Ernest, what grade are you in? But the bonus just ended. But we keep a $3 payment. That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, for sure. I mean, military, like healthcare. That those are all essential. So that's great. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I feel very stupid for not knowing exactly, but yeah, we'll see what happens. And obviously I don't want to get too political, but I'm, Canadian friends out there, I don't how much do Canadians actually care about American politics, and what kind of stuff are you guys looking, who do you guys want to win essentially? I'm kind of curious to see what the, from your perspective, what the Canadians want. Ernest grade 11, man, that's awesome. I mean, that's cool. I mean, I'm glad, because I think you're at the point where you're kind of late in high school before college, that maybe you want things to be remote or canceled. But just be glad that this isn't your freshman year or senior year, because I feel really bad for any seniors or freshmen who are wanted to enjoy their last year, or really, that's the first year I wanted to experience a lot and can't do it because of COVID. So I think you kind of lucked out, honestly. So that's great. Grade 11, that's awesome. I think Marlo, I don't think he's still in chat anymore, but Marlo's another high schooler. He was talking to us about his math homework the other day. So yeah, nice. Okay, bye. That's what I figured. It always seems like that, right? I mean, you had Obama, which it seemed like everyone was a huge fan of, especially the Democrats. But it seems like last election and this election, it's we have Trump versus Hillary or Trump versus Biden, and I don't know if I love both, but who do I choose between the two evils? Some sort of like that. Sam, I don't like talk politics, but I'm leaving. Okay, cool. Yeah, I respect it. I like to fix Cali though. Yeah, for sure. It'll be interesting. I'm kind of curious. I don't know if I haven't honestly voted for sure. So if you haven't voted, definitely get out there and vote. But I haven't really been keeping track of what's going on. We'll see what happens. I think election tracking. I don't know if that's a thing. But it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Actually, I don't know if any of you guys watched this, but I just watched Hamilton. I know they're super irrelevant to what we're saying, but I just thought of it because it's kind of president and stuff. But I just watched Hamilton today, and that was kind of behind on the train, because everyone and anyone has been going to Hamilton, getting on these tickets and watching it live. But finally caught it on Disney Plus, I think it was, and that was kind of cool. I liked that a lot. It was I thought it was cool because it really shed light on some American history, and it talked about someone who wasn't he was still an important figure in our history, but I definitely like that a lot. So if anyone hasn't watched it yet, I highly recommend checking out Hamilton. Yeah, but the problem is I've never written science or math exam, and they're canceling it. Oh, geez, that's tough. Okay. Does I guess in Canada, do you guys have some sort of in the US we have our SATs and ACTs, but do you guys have specific exams that you need to take to get into college? And I guess, Ernest, are you looking at American colleges at all, or are you only looking at Canadian colleges? Canadians are obsessed. Yeah, okay. Oh, interesting. Huh. I honestly didn't think Canadians would be that into American politics, but that's really that's interesting. And I guess, do you agree with what Ernest was saying before, like, are Canadians leaning Biden over Trump, or like, do they prefer Trump? Raul, when we get started, both Vikings, Jefferson, and Madison, I made so many Alex. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, the Vikings are an interesting team. They're not a good team, but at least they're fantasy relevant, which is good for the rest of us. Young Guapo, what's up, my man? Thank you for coming in. I'm glad you made it. I know it's late for you, so thank you for joining. We're just kind of chatting right now. We're talking a lot about fantasy, so let me know if you have any questions. But yeah, we're just talking we have some Canadian friends in here. We've got some military services and healthcare essential workers. So we're just kind of talking about life right now, which is awesome. I love to talk fantasy whenever, but I would also love to just chat and talk about life with people. Hey, Guapo, cheers to that. Yeah, I have had my fair share of beers. Well, Guapo, what you been drinking tonight, homie? Ernest, what colleges are you looking at? I know some Canadian colleges, and so I guess, Ernest, what colleges are you looking at? And for Canadian, just like high schoolers, do you guys mainly focus on Canadian colleges, or do a lot of people look at American colleges too? Deputy Trump is not as bad as media portrays him. He's not a racist, and he wants to put his country. Yep, for sure. I mean, honestly, the media really dictates a lot, right? And they really mess with people's perceptions of stuff. As much as I take COVID very seriously, I also think the media has blown it up a little bit as well. So you're completely right. The media can really sway how different subjects and topics look, which can be good sometimes, can be bad. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely two sides to the coin, right? Sam, how does YouTube work, and when get the donor button? Have you ever kissed? Yeah, so honestly, that's not even something I thought about, because I really don't want to or need to be taking money from you guys. So I guess the only thing that I know from YouTube right now is if you want to become a partner, which means you can start running ads or get monetized off your videos. It takes, so the requirements are 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So I've only started, for 2 weeks. I'm about just over 100 subscribers, which, hey, cheers to that. We finally had 100 subscribers this week, so thank you all for making that happen. But yeah, the 4,000 views is probably going to be the tough part, and you need the 4,000 hours of views in 1 year. But once you do that, then you can start getting monetized for that. But yeah, I don't know about that, but don't worry about that right now. I don't stream on Facebook or Twitch. I definitely would consider Twitch, but I mentioned this in my last stream. I'm definitely trying to just focus on my metrics and numbers for YouTube first. And honestly, this is kind of just a hobby for me, and I love it. So my goal is to try and make partner, which is that 1,000 subscriber and 4,000 watch hours. So if you guys ever watch my videos, the best thing you can do is just watch the videos and all the way through as much as you can, and don't feel the need to. This is, like I said, this is just a hobby. If I don't hit 4,000 hours, that's fine. But eventually, ideally, the more people will come and we'll get more views. So that's at least my understanding of how it works. I think there are ways to do donations right now, but again, guys, don't worry about it right now. I don't need the money, and this is just something we talk about and we just chat, so don't worry about that at all. Grey Goose, let's go, Guapo. So you're a vodka kind of guy, huh? I like it. Straight up or mix it? Biden seems fake as heck. Yeah, I mean, that's how politics is, right? I think it's sad to see the top two candidates. I know, right? And that's the thing. I completely agree. It should never be the lesser of two evils, and it is what it is, right? It's hard to do anything, but just the only thing we can really do is just go out and vote. So that's it. I don't really know who's looking at American colleges. I'm looking at Western U. Oh no, that's awesome. That's great. Huh? That's interesting. That's good to know. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Canadians probably want to stay in Canada, but I guess I was always curious, since America technically has a lot of prestigious quote unquote colleges, Ivy Leagues and whatnot. So I was just kind of curious as to whether or not Canadian high schoolers actually looked to those as well. But okay, that's cool. That's good to know. Oh yeah, thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. Hey, I appreciate the continued support. You've been here since, pretty much day one, so I love it. That's awesome. Just the Trudeau's an actually joke of a human. Trudeau's interesting. Okay, so is Trudeau kind of like is he not very well like how do most Canadians view him? I guess as your prime minister. My buddy streams Warzone and he get a lot of support from other fellow streamers. I hope he. Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. And hey, it seems like we got a decent amount of people tonight. And one of the last streams we had, we actually got a huge, not a huge turnout, but we got a decent amount of people from, I think, the Fantasy Flock Network. Someone from my viewer just very graciously went in and shouted me out, and we pulled in a bunch of people, and I think we got a decent amount of subscribers tonight. So, let's just keep the grind going. We got that stream going on 3-4 times a week, and I think the streams are honestly better than the video content. So I think, yeah, that's great. Goose and OG, hell yeah. Cheers, man. That's awesome. McGill, oh yeah, for sure. McGill is a great university. 70% of Canadian hates him. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, young Guacamole, just feel free to answer, throw in whatever fantasy questions you want. Interesting. So how does it work? So does again, I feel very bad that I don't know much about Canadian politics. I'm sure that's a very American statement, but I guess how does it work? How long is he in office for? How long is he allowed to be in office for? Because in America you're only allowed 2 terms, and I feel like I've heard of Justin's name for a while, so I don't know if there's a limit. And is it hard for someone to just challenge him to take over that prime minister spot, or how does that work? We should do a little Canadian politics here. Extras. Oh, interesting. Oh, cricket and took millions. Interesting. I did not know that. That's never good. That's not what you want from a country leader. Prestigious college, extremely expensive, and that's actually a really good point. Yeah, American colleges are stupidly expensive, so I respect you guys for wanting to stay. And honestly, here's what I'll say. With colleges, the name is great, right? But it's not as big, and chat, and anyone who's been through college here, please let me know if you feel differently. But the prestigiousness of the actual college doesn't matter that much. When you get out of college and graduate, it's all about your work experience, your connections, and how well you did in college. Sure, someone I think if you went to a really prestigious college like Harvard, right, or Stanford, it's gonna make someone notice. But at the end of the day, it's about your recommendations. It's about your experience. If I was hiring somebody, I would rather hire someone out of a state college who's had 3-4 years of experience doing something that is relevant, versus someone from Harvard who's hey, this is something I'm interested in, I want to do. So the prestigiousness is great, and it can help you with connections, but listen, when you get to college, just do your best, get those internships, get those job experiences, and get those connections with people, because at the end of the day, when you get a job, once you get a job, that's when the experiences continue to build, and that's what matters the most. Refuses to answer questions on him giving me, yeah, that's not good. Interesting, so you follow US politics more than Canadians. Interesting. Exactly, yep, Rahul, 100% internships, your experience, that's all it is. The experience is gonna matter. Once you get into the work, once you graduate from college, it'll all of a sudden be 4 more years you're in the workforce. No one cares about what college you went to. Great, if you went to the best college in the world, great, but hey, do you have this experience? If not, I'm not gonna hire you, or you're gonna be at the very, very, entry level of the position I'm looking for. So experience is 100% key. Yeah, experience and grades is all that matters, 100%. Sam, I have a degree in bio, doesn't do anything for me unless you have exactly, and that's the thing. A lot of yep, exactly. A lot of jobs now require technical certifications and whatnot. So I guess I don't know if I would have done this, but I know a lot of people even go to trade school to specialize in just one industry. So yeah, the prestigiousness of the name, it's all hype. It's like fantasy football, right? Hey, I have this player, Ezekiel Elliott. He's on a horrible team now, but what do I do with him? It's very similar, Fantasy is just like that. American politics is WWF, and politics, that's funny. James. It's where you say college because Canada, so university and your college is interesting. I did not know that. I know a lot of people say like university. I mean, I think in Europe actually. I don't think we have any Europe people in here, but Europeans. But I think they say university more. All right, Young Guapo, let's get into it. You got Russell Wilson, RB1 Derrick Henry, RB2 Boston Scott, okay? Wide receiver 1 Julio, wide receiver 2 Justin Jefferson. You got Darren Waller, Henry Ruggs, Damon Harris, bench. Mark Ingram, Evan Ingram, C. Lamb, Alex, okay. So I don't know what question you have in it. I would say if I'm looking at your question, if I know we want to talk a little bit about it, I think you need to upgrade your RB2 because Boston Scott's going to be irrelevant in about like 1 or 2 weeks, I would say, with Miles Sanders coming back. So I would try and trade. That's a little tough. Maybe try and trade CeeDee Lamb if he has a really good game this week. You know, try and get him while he's had one bad game, honestly, all season. And, I mean, you can try and trade him now, but I would maybe try and trade, like, honestly, if you can, like, maybe a Boston Scott and a CeeDee Lamb for someone who's, like, a Myles Gaskins, a Jonathan, I mean, I don't know if you can get Jonathan Taylor out of that, but, like, a more solid primary running back that you don't have to worry about not being relevant for the rest of the season. Yep, exactly. Eagles have a bye, and I think they play the Giants again when they come back. So that's young Guapo. I would say if you can, you definitely need to upgrade at running back because I've been telling everybody I don't like Damon Harris at all. You have Mark Ingram, who once he gets back, yeah, sure he'll be like the primary back, but like it's on the Eagles team and they're just not a huge like running heavy team with Lamar. So if I had to say the one way to really like strengthen your team would just be to actually upgrade for a solid RB2 because I don't know that unless you give up one of your starters, which we don't want to do at this point, I don't know that you have a lot of player power or player value to be able to give up to like get like a solid RB1 or wide receiver one. So yeah, I would look to someone like Myles Gaskins. Look to see if LaMichael P. Ryan's still on your waiver wires. Who else would be good? Yeah, anyone that's on the top tier running back. Like I said, if you can get JT would be like ideal, I think. But that would be tough, I think. Ernest Ramsey, it's not bad. Let me get the music back on. Oh man, we went through it. We've been live for so long that we ran out of the playlist. I don't think the Ramsey is a bad idea. Like I said, the only question mark is like how well is Tua gonna play, but the Ramsey are on paper are probably an okay start. Yeah, exactly. So I would say you should probably look to see if you can potentially upgrade or trade for one. I'm kind of curious if you have any good prospects in your waiver wire. Like I said, LaMichael P. Ryan is something I really like, who might still be there, but it'll be hard to, hoping Damon Harris picks up. Yeah, maybe. I was saying before, I don't like anyone on the Patriots offense as long as Cam is still the quarterback right now. Giggles Gaming, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Deontay Johnson or AJ Green? I lean AJ Green a little bit, mainly just because of the matchup and because of the fact that AJ Green he's been getting a lot of targets all season and is finally starting to actually convert those into receptions and yards. So I lean AJ Green a little bit. Already picked up. Oh yeah, that's rough. Do you, Guapo? Do you have anyone else like who? I don't know if you can post this, but like who are like the top running backs in your free agency right now? Yep, and Giggles, honestly, like I have them. I just checked my rankings list. I have them pretty equal. I just feel like with the Steelers wide receivers, you're kind of playing you're playing a lottery every single week, so you don't actually know who exactly is going to go off. If Deontay plays, I think he has a chance of, playing. Like I think he has a chance of scoring a lot. But just against the Ravens and without having seen him in like enough consistent games when he's healthy, I lean AJ Green a little bit because AJ Green has been getting a lot of those targets. I like Ruggs because of the Browns giving. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Ruggs because I still need to see more volume, but I think that's fair. Titter time, what's up? Hey, cheers. Gio or Bella Flex? Hey, welcome to the stream. You know, after dark. I go Gio here. He's a primary back. I think he's gonna have a little bit more opportunities. We don't know what the split is gonna be like with the Chiefs, and Bell is not yet. Well, he's not the primary back, so I definitely go Gio. Also, Titter, you gotta let everyone know, what are you drinking tonight? Ernest, JT is playing the Lions tomorrow, but my fantasy team always comes before my. Yeah, for sure. JT, Ernest, are you a Lions fan? And if so, how did you become a Lions fan? Giggles, do I try to trade for a better RB this week or keep DeAndre Swift? Girly already play. Giggles, post your lineup. I'm kind of let's see what your lineup's looking like and who else you have for RB. Yeah, I know. Guapo, I know a lot of people talk about the revenge game. Yeah, sure. And I think, so first of all, people overhype the revenge game aspect a lot. I don't know if anyone's actually done any research on is revenge game thing a thing. But I can definitely see the Chiefs getting up early and playing Bell a little bit more than Clyde, but I wouldn't take put too much, of your money into it. Oh, hell yeah, Titter. Cheers to that, my man. Corona, I hope you at least, put a little lime in there. Giggles, you have Edmonds, but he's going to buy in Kenny and Drake. Okay, so that's a little tough, and I mean, even if you make a trade now, you can't really play them tomorrow, right? So I think at this point, if you have DeAndre Swift, if you play him, I don't love his matchup, but he can always, get you a touchdown. They're playing a really tough Colts defense, so if you have to play him, play him. I think he's still going to be featured a lot over Adrian Peterson. But if you can, he might be okay as a running back 2 in the future, but depending on the rest of your team, you might be able to package him in a wide receiver for maybe like a higher RB2 or like an RB1 there, I would say. But I do like DeAndre Swift for the rest of the season after this week. But once you get like Edmonds and Kenny and Drake back, I think you should be okay. Oh, for sure, Titter. Oh, definitely. NBA, it's easier to do those revenge games here. Do you think Zach Moss or Singletary will... I still think it's Singletary's backfield, but I don't like either one of them because they don't seem like they really use their running backs in a very conventional manner. Josh Allen really likes to. I mean, he takes a lot of those rushes in himself. So I don't like either, but I still think Singletary if I had to choose. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, Dempy, same. I agree with that. Titter, So I think Zeke will still be good, right? But the thing is, with Nucci Gang at the helm, they're going to be focused a lot more at second the box. I honestly have him more of like an RB2 at this moment, which is with his quarterback situation and the O-line. I don't want to give up on him because he's the RB1 talent, right? But yeah, I think probably RB2 status. Yeah, Giggles, for sure. Thank you for coming in. If you're still around, I'm kind of curious. How did you find the stream? I'm just asking people how they found my stream because, I don't advertise that much, and it's always great to see new viewers in here. Guapo, I'm trying to trade Chris Goddard and CD for Tyreek. Yeah, Guapo, if you could get that, I think that's a great trade. If you can't do that early, I would do it because we don't know what AB is going to look like with Godwin together, but I would do that for sure. Ernest, yeah, my dad grew up with Windsor, which is right across the border from Detroit. Oh, awesome. That's awesome. Hey, cheers to that. I'm glad, I don't have anything against the Detroit Lions at all. I think they've had some bad luck, but, I would love to have a quarterback like Stafford on my Colts team. Jacob, what's up? Welcome to the stream. So you're talking about Tannehill or Herbert this week. So what I'll say off the top of my head is that I think they're both good. On my rankings list right now, I actually have Tannehill a little bit higher
I like both, and I've been telling a lot of people to stash both Tannehill and Justin Herbert if possible, but I would probably go I would go with Tannehill this week because he's playing the Bengals, and I expect it to be a potential shootout for sure. Brady, what's up? Need 2 RBs, 2 runnies. Okay. Whether it's scaring me, RBC, Leonard, Fournette, Bernard, Diggs, Thielen. Okay. So out of those, Brady, I would go Clyde. And let me see. I would go Clyde and Gio for your running backs. For wide receiver, I would go Diggs and A.J. Brown. And I would put Kareem Hunt at the flex. Titter, Danucci over Trace McSorley. Oh, for sure. Giggles, that's awesome. Thank you. That's awesome. Which one of your friends said? And also, yeah, you just come by. We do weekly uploads and streams throughout the week. I think we're gonna try and do 3 or 4 a week. So come by whenever. Johnny, hey, oh man, my viewers are doing some work. I appreciate all of y'all. Sam, without the injuries the way this season, did you ever feel like this is gonna go wash for me? I mean, especially with COVID, Sam, I thought maybe we weren't gonna make it through, but it looks like without these COVID scares, games are still playing. We've only had 1 series delay with the Titans, so I'm hopeful that we're gonna get through the season for sure. Guapo, exactly what I was thinking. Feel like Chris Godwin will be, yeah, exactly. So Tyreek is good, right? And Godwin has somewhat of an injury prone concern. So if you can do that, I would try and do that before next week's games, maybe. Prax, what's up, man? Le'Veon Bell or Jarvis Landry? I lean Jarvis Landry because especially in half PPR, I think he's going to get the receptions, and we don't quite know what Le'Veon Bell's role is going to be. I think they both have solid floors, but I probably lean Jarvis Landry a little bit more. Artist, I found the stream because I got offered a huge trade. I needed a second opinion, so I'd like a fans. Nice. Yeah, I think the Fantasy Football Live tag helps a lot. So, I hope you keep on coming back, Ernest. But no, that's great. That's awesome. I don't know if a lot of people do these late nights, and I honestly really know one of the biggest things with like the bigger, way bigger channels is that they can't get to all the questions. So, for me, I'm a very small channel, and I definitely get to everyone's questions unless I somehow skim over it and miss it. But I definitely, want to get to all of your stuff. Giggles. Oh, I also have Hollywood Higgins on my bench. If you think maybe put him for agent. Oh, actually, if you do, I actually like Higgins. I don't know if you mean T or Rashard, but I like both of them actually a little bit more than AJ Green, so I wouldn't mind putting Higgins over AJ Green in that flex spot. Dempy, who do you think I think it's going to be Justin Herbert. I think he's going to actually beat out Burrow. I think it's going to be Justin Herbert. Titter, how do you think David Montgomery this... So Titter, good thing, and I'm sure you'll cheers to this, but I actually have him as my sit of the weekend running back, and I got a lot of pushback in my comments about that in my video. I think that because number one, David Montgomery, I think he's very TD dependent. I don't love his rushing stats or his receiving stats. And he's playing against a Saints defense that is ranked the 4th hardest, or like the 4th best against running backs. So everything on paper says he's not going to have a good week, and that's why I have him as my sit of the week. So, hey, good for you for playing against him. Johnny, is Ruggs a good start? I don't love Ruggs yet. I mentioned him a few weeks ago in one of my waiver wire videos. I think he's very boom or bust, and he just doesn't get a lot of targets from Carr. So, like, the thing is, whenever I say sit him, he always has a chance to get, like, 2 receptions for, like, 80 yards and a touchdown, right? And it's going to be worth it to start him. But, like, what I look for when I do my research is, like, just opportunities, targets, and volume. And I don't think he has that much opportunities from Derek Carr just yet. So I personally don't love Ruggs until I see more from him. And that's what I'll say. Oh, for sure, Artist. If you can't stash Antonio Brown, I think you should have bought last week. So go do it. And thank you. I hope you do come back. I love being able to talk fantasy and just like kind of live stuff. So that's awesome. Yeah, and Antonio Brown. If anyone here so can get Antonio Brown, stash him right now because similar to Tua, that's gonna be like one of the fewer chances you have for the rest of the season to get a potential wide receiver 1 production out of him. Johnny, what's a good stat to stash? I have Kittle currently. He's up by Logan Thomas.
I think he's an okay. He's got an okay floor, kind of low. But Johnny, if you can, I would stash Goddard or Trey Burton if you have. Trey Burton is my pickup of the potential year this year. So, Giggles, Jimmy Graham, or Gronk. It's Rashard. Okay, yeah. So I still like Rashard Higgins. I think that's a good start. I think he has a lot of chemistry, and he might be that wide receiver 1 to replace Odell. So I like Rashard a lot actually, and I would maybe go with him over AJ. And as for Jimmy Graham or Gronk, I go Gronk because his target share has been going up a lot. He's going to be playing a lesser defense, and I think he's probably going to get you that potential 10 to 15 points. So I would go Gronk there. Ernest, yeah, that's the problem. It's tough. I mean, at least you don't have as much of a problem as people in my league not wanting to trade at all. So that's part of the trade is getting the trade done, and part of the trade is trading with the actual owner. So it can be tough. Thank God. Nice, Titter. That's awesome. I'm glad you're playing little mind tricks on the other side. Matt. Oh, Matt. Hey, welcome. You're new to the stream as well, so welcome, Matt. What do I think about Josh Jacobs? I think he's a great buy low candidate right now. I think his schedule gets a lot easier, so he should get back to that high RB2, RB1 status for the rest of the season. But I like him a lot, and if you can get him, if you're looking to get him, definitely buy him low. Went to his first game and go from there. Yep, for sure, Guapo. Ernest already has some stash. That's great. Do you think CDs? I don't want to give him a CD yet. A lot of people ask me if CD should be dropped. I don't think so. He's had one bad game, you guys, and of course the situation isn't great, but no one's expecting a lot from DiNucci, but I think there's a possibility that he can still be throwing a lot and targeting both Cooper and CD. So he's at one bad game. I don't want to drop him until I see maybe 1 or 2 bad games where I just know that the offense is bad. But Dalton's gonna be back too. Once Dalton's back, they're gonna be forced to throw a lot, and he's gonna be. CD is gonna be one of his top targets. So don't give him a CD just yet. Titter, what do I do for a living? I'm in a healthcare IT. Yeah. So all of that back there it's a girlfriend's setup. So I don't take any credit for that. Oh, Matt, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Lee Mean Vagine. Welcome, man. I know it's late. Thank you for coming in. Guapo, should I drop Evan Ingram? I don't like Ingram, so I would drop him if you have another tight end like a Goddard or a Trey Burton to pick up. The one thing that I noticed is that he actually had one of the team-leading targets last week, so that's one thing that might go well for Evan Ingram, but he hasn't produced all year, and I think if anyone's holding on to him, it's because of the name. So I don't. In regards to Mark Ingram, I think he's an okay stash. If you have someone else like a P. Ryan that you can pick up on the waiver, I would. But if you're just stashing him, I think it's okay. He should be back in a week or 2, and he might have value. But again, there's a couple of backfields I don't like to touch. Detroit actually is okay this year, but Patriots backfield I don't want to touch. Baltimore backfield I don't want to touch. Stash him if you can. Ernest, it really depends. So I think these so my weekend ones I usually stay on for a little bit longer. I know it's getting a little late, so I'll probably be on for another 20 minutes or so. Thursday nights are quick ones unless I'm trying to figure out if we can potentially stream and do let's talk about team starts and sets and maybe stream the Thursday night game. I just don't know how legal that is and if my video will get taken down or YouTube will get me in trouble for that. So I'm looking into that. But Thursdays when I stream, I usually stream about an hour before the game actually happens because I have to work. And if I can, I would love to stream and kind of chat and talk, watch a game all together and just talk about it. Otherwise, Tuesday nights I probably stream for about 2 to 3 hours again. It all depends on the viewers and what kind of questions we have. Okay, so Vagine, how do you feel about Jalen Reagor today and rest of the season? I think he's a really interesting guy. I definitely think he's worth a stash. There's still going to be a lot of mouths to feed. Alshon's coming back. Djax will probably come back. I actually don't know what the status of Djax is, but you're also going to have Goddard coming back, or it's coming back eventually. So I think he's definitely worth a good stash because he's a rookie, and Rookie wide receivers have honestly surprised all of us this week. All of us this year. So he's definitely a good stash, and I think he could be a decent playmaker. But again, you also have Travis Fulgham in the mix too. So I only see him as a stash and wait and see. I don't know that he's a must pick up. It's hard to tell what is going to happen with that offense once everyone's actually back and healthy. But also, like, who stays healthy and who gets injured again, right? Johnny, what's your prediction points for Jamal Williams and Boston Scott? So if, I mainly play PPR. Sorry, half PPR. Boston Scott, I can see. Let's see. Let me look at how well they did last week. Boston Scott, I like because he's playing a bad defense. Let's see. That's tough. That's actually a really good question because I never actually thought about it like that. Let's see. How well did Boston Scott do last week? So Boston did 16. Honestly, Boston. Let's go with like. Let's go like 18 points for Boston. And who was the other kid? Jamal, let's go with like 16 points. I mean, that's just kind of out of my butt, but yeah, that's kind of, I think they do well. Sam, where'd you rank Gronk? I rank him probably, let's see, so you have your Kelsey and your Kittle who are going to be the top 2. I rank Gronk probably top 5. Like I said, I really like where the target value is, like the target and the production has been trending up, and I don't think that AB is going to cut too much into it, so I kind of think he's going to be a top 5 tight end for the rest of the season. Oh, for sure, Den. I love trading too, but it's some league mates just don't love to trade, you know? Denp, what is the biggest steal? Traded John Brown and Jared Cook for Rodgers. Damn. Then traded Kamara and Thielen for DJ. Nice, that's awesome. Guapo, for sure. I'm glad you subbed as well, man, and hope to see you in the future streams. And just this is awesome. We're getting more traction. Kareem Hunt when he's on the Chiefs and it was Robbie. Nice. Giggles, yeah, I think so. I think it sounds like he should be back maybe in like a week or two, so I think he will be. For sure, Johnny, I agree with that. That's the thing. There's some running backs that are like more injury prone, but like, you can't, like, I think that's something that it's such like a wild fact that you just can't think too much about, right? Like, you just gotta assume that people are gonna stay healthy, and if it gets injured, that's just part of luck and playing with it. Miles, what's up? What do you think I could get for Josh Jacobs? That's tough to say. I mean, if you have Josh Jacobs right now, he's also been sell low. So honestly, if you have him, yeah, I think you need to just hold on to him and wait till he gets a little bit more production because his value is low right now. And like I said, he's a buy low candidate, so you wouldn't get a fair return back for him right now. So if you have him, keep him, and like he's gonna start playing a lot better. Trade Todd Gurley for Jonathan. Nice. I like JT a lot, like I said. What should my friend do with Todd Gurley? I mean, Todd Gurley isn't bad. Like, he's a solid guy, and like that Atlanta offense is still gonna score points every week. So like, if you have Todd Gurley, it's not a bad guy to have on your team right now. I'm Mark Andrews, but pick up Goddard because available. Which rate are you gonna take for? Okay, so let me go back up again. Oh, Sam, thank you. Yeah, finally fixed that. Finally fixed that. Honestly, if you have a Mark Andrews, if you're like, I guess, are you trying to train Mark Andrews? Because if you are, I would say probably like most likely like a wide receiver too. So I wonder if you can get someone like I'm trying to think. Like Cole Beasley, I feel like you can get a little bit more out of, but like someone like an AJ Brown, I think he's gonna be too high for you. I would maybe try and package for someone like a Stephon Diggs and AJ Brown, maybe DK Metcalf. Look for someone who just like is having a lot of trouble at tight end, which should be most teams, and doesn't have a good bench or like a streaming thing going on. So maybe try and package Mark Andrews up with somebody for a more solid like high side wide receiver 2 or like a low wide receiver 1. But that's what I would do if I were you. Is DK a good start with the Niners backfield? Gurley is touchdown dependent, but hey, as we saw, he gets touchdowns by accident, right? So, I think he's. Let's look at Gurley's production this year. I feel like he's been. I don't own him anywhere, honestly. Let me take a look. I feel like Gurley's been doing pretty well this year, right? Yeah, he's been okay. I mean, he's had 2 bad games, but the volume is there for Gurley, so that's at least what I like about Gurley. Like, he gets those rushes and catches. All right, let's see. Yeah, so Sam, get the music going on. That's great. Is DK a good start with the Niners backfield? You're talking about DK Metcalf, right? I would say so, yep. I like that. I mean, I would start, like, DK. It seems like someone that you start pretty much every week without, like, even thinking about it. One and only manager, welcome to the stream. Glad you're here. Should I pick up Gallman, the Giants RB, and use him as over Justin Jackson? That's a really tough one. So the only reason I like Gallman is because he's going to be the starting running back, right? Because Freeman's out. The problem is they're playing a really tough defense in the Bucks. But here's what I'll say. I think so. Justin Jackson is so split in the field with Josh Kelly, right? And he might not have as many opportunities. So I would maybe lean Gallman just for like the upside to potentially get you a little bit more points. Because he's probably going to be like the only running back that's going to be going versus like with the Chargers, it's going to be a split between Jackson and Kelly. So that's kind of tough. Giggles, I don't know that I would start both. If you have both, I would try and trade one away. And Lockett is a great trade, like sell high candidate right now. Because I think from what I remember, let's look. Lockett, he's like, I mean, you know, obviously he like went off, right? But like, I would maybe try. I mean, you probably could start both. I don't like starting both. And geez, I didn't realize he's the number 2 ranked wide receiver right now. I would try to trade one of them to get to fill out another hole in your team right now if you could. Titter, how should I feel about my starting lineup in PPR? Lamar, Zeke, Jamal, AJ Keenan, Jonnu Smith, Bucks. Good. I think you look. I like that a lot. The only 2 concerns I have about it is Lamar and Zeke, and that's like so crazy to say, right? Like, when would you ever like? No one would imagine anyone saying like, I'm concerned about starting Lamar Jackson and Zeke, but I think it's solid. I think those 2 have the biggest question marks, and those are my only concerns. But everyone else I love, and I think you're gonna do really well. For sure, Sam, for sure. And I think, honestly, Gurley is more of a start for me than CEH because of Le'Veon Bell there. But, I mean, Gurley, he's ranked top 5 right now, so I like him a lot. Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah, start Lockett. Yeah, Giggle, start Lockett for sure. If you can't start him. Johnny, is Fantasy Plus worth buying? What is Fantasy Plus? I'm actually not familiar with that. Typically what I'll say is, if you need to buy anything, like for fantasy information, don't do it. Let's see what this Fantasy Plus is. I see Fantasy Plus as an extension on Chrome for free. Are you talking about something else? Otherwise, yeah, don't buy into Fantasy Plus, man. Any advice that you're gonna find there, you're gonna be able to get like online for free. And fantasy it's not like, hey, I did all my research, all the numbers look good. You know, this person's gonna score at least this many points. It's so much luck that like luck is half of fantasy, in my opinion. So don't pay for anything that's gonna like supposedly quote unquote give you more information. You know, I'm happy to give you as much information as I know from all my research and all my experience for free. That, you know, maybe that's not as valuable as it is to you for like, you know, experts there, but like I think if you pay for anything fantasy, that's just, you know, a scam, and you're kind of just wasting your money. Like, you can find any information anywhere you want, as basic or as advanced as you need. So I would not. There it is. Trades are going crazy in my league. Someone just offered Devontae Adams. Oh damn. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's kind of fun. I think trades should happen more often, so I'm glad that's actually happening in your league. Giggles, I'm in a rough spot. I'm 2-5. Drake was a bust for me, and I boofed my draft. Yeah, I think so. And that's the thing is, like, you know, a lot of it also has to do with your record, right? Like, we were talking about this before. As long as you can get into the playoffs, that's all that matters. So if you need to make some bold moves to help you win now, absolutely do it. You know, I think what people need to start thinking about is, like, the one issue I see with people is that they think about, hey, rest of the season, long term, and it's all great, you know? You only have that luxury if you're, like, undefeated, 6-1, 5-2, you're, like, almost guaranteed a spot in the playoffs, but, like, hey, like, your record plays into it. As little as people think, every week a win means a lot. Like, you know, you get that extra win, it helps you get into the playoffs a little bit closer. So, hey, if you need to make the trade to get Wilson and Tyreek right now, as long as you still have, like, depth to be able to fill the roster spots for other players, then I definitely would do it. Like, you need to win now. You need those players that are going to get you those, like, guaranteed points every week. Do it. And when I say guaranteed, it's obviously not guaranteed, but, you know, if you need a little bit of players with, like, more solid floors, like a Russ or a Tyreek, then you need to go for it for sure. Trade Wilson for 2 or 3. Yep. Yeah, exactly. For sure. Just make those trades and make it happen, you know. You're 2-5. You might as well just YOLO it, you know. Something hasn't been working, mix it up and see what you can do. Yeah, exactly. You don't need... If you listen to Solid Fan, yep, exactly. There's so many channels out there. And again, at the end of the day, a lot of people are going to say the same thing, and it's everyone's opinions. Like, nothing is set in stone. If fantasy was really just, like, a math equation or scientific, obviously, you know, there's, like, people should be able to win every single week, but it's just all luck. So, honestly, like, take very little. Take it with a grain of salt when someone calls himself a fantasy pro, because, like, that means nothing to me, because you're just looking at the numbers and you're just making an analysis, but it's not going to be accurate 100%. Who should Russ and Hill for? No, I have them. Oh, I gotcha. Oh, so Giggles, are you saying you're saying you want to trade Russ and Hill for other people to like make stuff make your team a little bit better? Fantasy makes Sunday. Oh, for sure. I mean, Sunday I don't do anything. Like, I literally just lay. I take naps in between games. I'm such, like, just a fat piece of nothing on Sundays. So yeah. Yeah, for sure, Den. Thank you. So if you have Russ and Hill, honestly, if you're gonna trade for both, make sure you can grab another quarterback to start. I don't know if you can get, like, Justin Herbert, Ryan Tannehill to back you up, but if you were trading both Russ and Hill, I would expect probably, like, a solid QB1 back, or like 2 running backs and a wide receiver, like two wide receivers and a running back. Whoever you trade for, those are, like, 2 players at the top of their positions. You need to get at least, like, 3 starters back for sure. Sam, have you ever played Catan? Oh, for sure. I love Catan. It's great. Oh, for sure. To keep the number 1 game for winning. Yep. And I guess the one thing for Catan is I feel like that doesn't happen as much until, like, the end game. But yeah, no, for sure. That's one of my favorite board games, and I think there's a lot that fantasy can relate to it. What? Yeah, Giggles in your league. I mean, a lot of it's also luck. I'm sure, you know, if you score a lot, it might just be, you know, bad luck with points against, which there's nothing you can do about, right? Johnny, I 100% agree. For those of you that weren't here earlier, I was saying, hey, if you have the space, and if Tua is available, please go pick him up. He's the last QB for this season. I guarantee you that's going to have the potential for a QB1 status. So, you know, I'm not guaranteeing you that he's going to be a QB1, but go pick him up, because this is the last time you're going to be able to get someone this season that, you know, especially if you're need to get quarterback. So go pick him up and see what happens. Oh, dang. I mean, it's okay, Giggles. I mean, that happens, you know. It happens to the best of us, so all you can do is just learn from your mistakes. And hey, the waiver wire's still out there, and the league is won in the waiver wire, right? So just continue to make good roster moves and make good pickups, and you should be fine. We'll try and get you. We'll keep on coming here, and we'll look at your team every week, look at your set lineup, and we'll make sure that us as a community, we give you the best chance to win every week. Oh, for sure, Sam. I agree that you gotta you need to trade in Catan pretty much, especially if you're ever on a resource that if you're not actually on a resource that you need. A lot of times it's hard to start with all the resources that you need. So I agree. Great giggles. Hey, that's awesome. That's all it is, right? Oh, for sure. I appreciate that. That's really nice to hear from you. And keep on coming by to my channel, ask questions. I'm sure a lot of my OGs here can attest for me. But just leave comments on my videos, and I will respond to you pretty much very soon. And I hopefully I don't miss any comments at all. But yeah, if you ever come into the stream, we stream 3 or 4 times a week, and we answer all questions. So continue to do so. We'll try and help you out and dig you out of that hole, out of that 2-5, and get you in the playoffs. But that's great that you've been doing your own research and learning. For sure. Should I trade CEH for a different running back? Actually, if you can trade CEH for Jonathan Taylor, I wouldn't mind that. I think I was saying earlier that I think Jonathan Taylor's stock is going to go up this season, but I don't mind CEH. I think I'm one of the only guys that's so high on him. So his floor is still pretty high right now. So if you can, sure, make the swap. I don't think you're going to lose either way. It's just who you prefer for the rest of the season, but I don't mind either guys. I don't actually have giggles. I don't have one right now for fantasy. I was talking to somebody today. I forgot. Once we hit a certain number of subscribers, I will do Insta. But for now, I will do social media for this channel as well. But giggles right now, I would just say, just comment on the videos. I like I said, do the latest videos, either one of the streams or one of my start and sits or whatever. Just do it there. I get the notifications and I answer. As quickly as I see them, pretty much. So just do that, and that's gonna be the quickest way to get to me, aside from these live streams where I'm literally answering your questions right away. For sure, Sam. Yep, definitely. Yeah. So stream days are gonna be Tuesday nights. Before waiver wire pickups, because I post waiver wire videos to talk about which players we should target. We do Thursday night, probably shorter one right before the game. So we usually do an hour before we start an hour before the Thursday night game and kind of just go on for however long. And then the weekends are a little bit more iffy, so it's either going to be Friday nights or Saturday nights, and most likely late because I usually have stuff I need to do. But if I'm free and it seems like a lot of you guys are up super late, I might just do another random Saturday night or Friday night late stream as well. So the best way to do it is follow the videos, because I'll usually post stream times, or like I said, subscribe, and you'll get those notifications. But usually, yeah, I would say Tuesday, Thursday, and then either Friday or Saturday, with a potential for an extra day somewhere in between. Johnny, I like Gaskin's a lot. I think his stock is going up as well. I think he's actually going to be really good with Tua, so I like Gaskin's a lot. Yeah, Den, I agree. I still like CH. I think a lot of people have given up on him, but I like him a lot for sure. Man, okay, so John's been getting all your guys, huh? Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, for anyone who's been here since day one, I've been urging everybody to get Justin Herbert 3 weeks ago. And as you guys have seen, he has really picked up steam over the last 2 weeks. And I don't think he's available anymore. I think he's going to be a top quarterback for the rest of the season. So, yeah. I mean, it's all good. I mean, again, like I said, giggles, things happen. And I don't know how experienced you are with fantasy, but it's all just about learning and getting more exposure, getting more experience. But this is what we're all here to do, I like to talk, and it's awesome to see a lot of, the viewers here putting their input as well, so we can talk and just figure out what the best options are. But that's all right, man. We'll get you out of that 2-5 hole and figure out a way to get you in the playoffs. Okay, so this is your first year, and hey, that's great. I mean, what you're doing right now, getting to the streams, doing all your research is more than like 95% of the people. So, use this first year as a good learning experience, and we'll see if we can get you to the playoffs. Otherwise, you're already gonna have a head start in front of most people starting next year. Ernest in an 8-man league, I still see him as it because I believe in the Miami offense where I don't think they're just gonna, they're not as bad as the Cowboys or Jets, so I think they're still gonna score points, and I think a lot of that's gonna go through Gaskin. So I like Gaskins. I think he's definitely like one of those like sleeper like buy low candidates for sure. Should I try and trade Herbert and Allen for Jacksonville? That's tough. Dan, I don't remember your lineup. I apologize if you posted it, but if you can post your lineup again, we can think about that. But that's I'm really high on James Robinson. That's who you're talking about. That's tough. If you have another QB and if you have okay wide receivers, I would probably do that, assuming that you're like kind of shallow at running back. But man, I like Herbert a lot for the rest of the season. Giggles, I expected this. It just sucks, and I hope. Oh, for sure. And hey, don't even think about next year. You're still very much in it. All you have to do is get into the playoffs, and that's all that matters. So let's just focus on now. And if you can't get in, then we'll focus on next year. But let's focus on this year, and we'll see what we can do. One and only manager. I like Derek Carr a lot. I have him as a start, I think, this week. I think he's one of the guys that people, that's also someone that I've been talking about for a few weeks that I think people should have on their list because he has a really, really solid floor. He almost scored 20 points against the Bucs last week, and that's against the Bucs. So I think he's a really good guy to actually keep and potentially start for the rest of the season. Johnny, interesting. Why do you like Jimmy G over Carr? I like the other way. As Raiders fan, expected preseason from him against the Browns. Yeah, for sure. Oh, that's cool. You're a Raiders fan. One and only. What are your thoughts about the Raiders going to Vegas? I'm kind of curious. Yeah, for sure. Gigos, for sure. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And I keep on asking questions if you have, but I do hope to keep on seeing you, and like hopefully next time when we talk on Tuesday, you'll be 3-5. Exactly. Yep, Sam. I agree with that. I completely agree with that. Hated the move. Yeah, I can see that. Especially if you're like a lifelong Raiders fan. That's really tough, right? To move cities, but hey, at least if you ever want to go see a game, you can go to Vegas now, and that's kind of fun, I guess, right? Oh no, that's rough. That's really, really rough. Do they at least give season ticket holders like any sort of I guess do they give them any sort of like ability to like transfer or obviously like if they live in that area they're probably not going to get season tickets to Vegas, but like do they at least give you guys the option to like continue having the season tickets, or was it just like it's over and you have to like bid for it again? All right, Den Pizza, let's go back to this. So you have Aaron Rodgers, okay. Allen, Thielen, DJ Moore, Lamb, Chark. So Dempy, the reason I wouldn't do that, it's not even because of Herbert, because I think you actually need Allen on your team because otherwise you have Thielen, DJ Moore. But Allen is more of that like high RB wide receiver 2 option. So I actually think you need to have your wide receiver core to be Allen and Thielen. And like yes, James Robinson is great, but like you actually have an okay RB like depth that you're gonna be able to play. So if I were you, I would maybe just keep Rodgers and Allen more so than Thielen and I would actually keep Allen and Herbert, and it's less so for Herbert, even though I love him, more so that you have that wide receiver. Manager, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Change of the vibe. Personally, Chargers coming to LA. Yeah, I went to a Chargers game last year. That was actually really fun. Chargers as a coach, they know how to throw a tailgate. The food was great, drinks was great. That was really fun. But yeah, I do want to go see the new stadium once we're allowed to go see it. One last question: Bills kicker or Chiefs kicker this week? Yeah, so let me look at my rankings really quick. Kickers are always kind of a toss-up. I do make a list every week. Let's see. I would go Chiefs kicker this week. I know he hasn't been great, but Butker, I would go for him, I think. Manager, that sucks, man. I really like. I can, if I was in the same position, I would be pissed off too. So, you know, that just sucks, but you know, it happens. Ernest, nice, yeah. I guess you don't have a lot of options to go living in Canada, but yeah, those are fun. Johnny, yes, Debo is great. I like Ayuk a lot. I have him as my start of the week, so if you can't pick him up, I would. I honestly lean a little bit over Ayuk just because he seems like he's actually consistent and like he doesn't get injured that much. We don't know the extent to Debo's injury and how long it's going to keep him out and like what their re-injury chances are, so I like Ayuk a little bit more. Oh, for sure. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, like, Mixon and Mostert, once they're both healthy, like, that's, like, sure, James Robinson would be great, but I just don't know if it adds that much value to your running back core versus, like, the value that you're going to lose from giving away Keenan Allen, you know, especially since Keenan Allen is Herbert's favorite target right now. Koo's the best here. Yeah, I like him. I like Koo. I like Hot Rod, you know, but Koo is amazing. Even injured, so yeah, I mean that's not bad. You know, Aaron Jones is obviously going to be that RB1 that you know could help your team a lot. So it's not bad, but I definitely think you might need to. You know, I like Allen to keep as your 1-2 for your wide receiver. No cap, 2-keeper league. What's your lineup looking like? So my lineup in one of my money leagues, let's see. I'll pull it up really quickly. And this is the one that's a little bit unlucky too because I have like the third most points for by like I think literally like 5 points, and I have a lot of points against, which kind of sucks. So in my one that's going for long right now, I have Tannehill, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Mike Davis, Brandon Ayuk, Higgins, Trey Burton, Scotty Miller, and Chargers. On the bench, I have Mixon, who's out, David Johnson, CeeDee Lamb, Josh Allen, James Robinson, Antonio Brown. And the one that I'm doing really well right now, 5-2, I have Kyler Murray, Keenan Allen, JT, Gaskins, Devontae Adams, Jefferson, Trey Burton, AJ Brown, Aguilar, Chubb. So it kind of sucks that Chubb's been out for a while, but he's going to be coming soon. And I think my wide receivers are absolutely stacked there, so definitely love that. Yeah, R.I.P. Mike Davis. Yep. You know, it is what it is. What can you do? You can't expect him. Like a lot of people are expecting the Panthers players to do a lot better. So that kind of sucks. Irie, hey, what's up, Irie? What's up? Welcome. This is late for you. Welcome to the stream. Thank you. Got a little low effort hat here. Ernest, both of those are 12 team leagues. I'm in 2 12 team leagues and 1 14 team leagues. Johnny, Jamal Williams 6 too many snaps. I wouldn't do it. Yep. Well, we'll see. I think Aaron Jones when he gets back, he's the main carrier, but Jamal is definitely involved. Yeah, Luke. The second one I talked about is definitely stacked. It's you know, that's the one I'm 5-2 in, and I think once Chubb comes back, I think it'll be good. But yeah, a lot of it, you know, I think I did well. I got lucky with the draft and did well. Have been doing well on the waiver wires there. Manager, yeah, we'll see. I hope, you know, I think that for general fantasy, it's great when CMC comes back, but we'll see how that goes. Where you're 5-2, yep, yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, the 5-2 is still 12%. It's actually standard. It's not even PPR. It's just standard. I'm 7-0. I don't know how I'm gonna hold that when Mike is done. Almost, yeah. I think Chubb will be back soon. He should be back in the next few weeks. Yeah, I had Denp. I had Dak as well. That's the one that I'm 3-4 in. And honestly, that's kind of screwed me a little bit, especially since Josh Allen has not been playing well over the last 3 weeks. I think if I had Dak, I would have probably won, you know, my last 2 games, which would have been different. But Luckily, I got Ryan Tannehill now, and I think that's a great replacement for him. Oh, geez. Holy shit. Yeah. 194 to set. That's a huge variance. That's crazy. Standard league, yep. Hunt takes a lot of snaps for Chubb. Oh, for sure. I think Hunt and Chubb I see as like a 1A, 1B instead of like RB1, RB2. I think they're both going to get a decent amount of volume, and the Browns are just probably going to be a little bit more run heavy, for sure. Niners backfield, yep. Dak was, yep, exactly. I agree with you.
Be right back. I'm going to get some water.
Yeah, Dak and CD, that's the one of them in 3 and 4, and so that I think having both of them would have been better. Yeah, your injuries are 100%. Sam, I agree. All right, guys. Well, I guess let me know if you guys have any more questions. Let's get a few more in. I'll maybe stay on for like another few minutes, but I know it's getting late for everybody. It's getting pretty late for me as well, so probably looking to go to bed soon. But this has been a really fun stream and probably our longest stream so far. So this is amazing that we've continued the conversation. Honestly, when I first signed on, I think for like the first like 5-10 minutes, there's no one here, so I was a little worried. But this has been great. I was gonna trade for CD or Cooper, and now, yeah, exactly. I mean, Johnny could be so good buy low, but it would be the ultimate buy low right now. Yeah, I think he will. There's still a lot of drama with MT, so I don't really know what's gonna happen with that. It'll be rough, but I mean, I like him back. I mean, obviously, you can't count him out as being like one of the top wide receivers, but we will see. I think he'll be okay. There's just too much drama for me to handle. A. Robert, Gio, and Flex. I like Luke. I like Gio a little bit more. I think there's gonna be some wins that's gonna happen there. So I don't know how well the passing game is. I don't trust the Bears offense that much, and Gio's gonna be involved a lot in both running game and passing game. So I like him a little bit more. Damn, Johnny, that sucks. That's rough. That's really rough. Who can I stream for week 9 defense now to grab early? So actually, yeah, we were talking about this. I was thinking about making like a playoff stash for defenses, especially. So Eagles is someone I talked about that I think was going to be. Oh, actually, no, they're going to be on bye next week. So let's look. I think. Okay. So defenses I like, I think that are probably on the waivers, right? I think the Giants might be a good choice actually because they're playing the Washington football team. Let's see. Yeah, I would look to the Giants if you can. That's a good look ahead. Yeah, because all of the other ones that are standing out, I'm sure, are like already taken. Like stuff like Ravens or Colts. Chiefs you can probably look at too. But I would probably look to the Giants if I were you. Yeah, so I look at Giants. Giggles, how do you think Lesnar will play? I think he'll get some more shares, but it's always hard to tell who that the number 1 wide receiver option is. I mean, obviously Aaron Rodgers and Lazard has a lot of they have good connection, but it's just always so hard to pinpoint who exactly that wide receiver 2 is going to be. And honestly, it could be 15 targets to Devontae Adams and 2 to him, 2 to was Vallis Scanding, and they could be using the running backs more. So he's worth a stash. It's just so hard to trust, the next option after Devontae Adams on that team, honestly. Yeah, Johnny, thank you so much, man. I hope you see you in a future stream. That's great. Thank you for coming in and bringing other people in. Definitely appreciate that. I think this was a really successful stream. But yeah, let's leave it up for just another minute or two. Anyone has any more questions, get those in now. Otherwise, everyone should get some sleep so we can get up and watch the games tomorrow. And I guess happy daylight savings. Not only Halloween, but happy November, happy daylight savings. It's kind of crazy because right now it's
technically 1 o'clock Pacific, but I know it's really 2 because the clock just changed. Giggles for sure. Appreciate that. Yeah, love you too, man. Thank you for coming in. Well, thanks, guys. Continue to submit. Luke, thank you so much. Irie, the next time I'll stream is going to be Tuesday night for waiver wire pickups. So I'll have a video out Tuesday morning, I think, or Tuesday during the day for waiver wire pickups. And then we'll talk again Tuesday night about probably mainly waiver wires, but also just about team stuff. Yeah, good luck, everybody. Good luck tomorrow. If you have any last minute comments, just like post it to my to like this video or like one of my previous videos, and I'll try and answer it. But most likely, I'm like, since it's late, I'll probably gonna be sleeping in right before the game start at like 10 a.m. for me, which is pretty crazy still. But yeah, just let me know. But I think I think everyone hopefully should feel good. Feel good about what their lineup this week. Yeah, Ernest, thank you. Giggle, Sam, Den. Yeah, good luck, man. Yeah, good luck with your work. That's tough, but yeah, 2 more hours to go. You're almost here. Keep it going, my friend. Yeah, go home for sleep. Like, exactly. Then football. Yeah, what else? Yeah, like I said, Sunday football for me is literally just let's wake up, watch football, drink, eat, take a nap in between games, maybe go walk the dog, and then eat again. And all of a sudden it's nighttime, so I am not productive on Sundays at all. But yeah, all right. Thank you everybody so much. This has been great. Thank you all for just being super active in chat, and like again, this is so late, so I'm so happy that all of you are here. So happy to help. Hopefully everything helps, and good luck to you all. Happy November, and yeah, let's all get this dub. Let's all get this dub on Football Sunday. Good night. Yeah, Irie, once the video actually publishes all of it's going to be actually YouTube's side. Once the video actually publishes, it will have the chat replay on the side, so you'll be able to watch through everything. It just takes them a little bit to process, so I would give it a few hours, or like just wait till the morning, and once the video is like fully processed by YouTube, everything will show up on the right side. I do not gamble, no. I feel like I would get too much into it, but yeah, I don't gamble. Yeah, for sure. Sam, let me know. Just keep me updated. Alright, cool. Good night, all. And, yeah. Talk to you all soon.